Red Bull are a brand that really do like football, taking over New York, Leipzig, Salzburg and sponsoring Leeds. But one thing that's always confused me is how they've never managed to take over an English team. With English football so desperately popular, how has the brand never took over a club? I really wonder what it would be like as today they take over a London club and form RB London. A very exciting one today. It's got its new badge and everything. The team that has took over is Luton Town. But as you see behind me, who's becoming the next manager, we are in League 2 at the bottom of the English pyramid. Or the FC24 bottom of the English pyramid, as there is some limitations to this challenge. Or rules as the first one. We can only sign from other London clubs or other Red Bull clubs. To be fair, we've actually got quite a few to pick from, as the other rule, only 3 signings per season to make it a bit challenging. And as you can see, we have to win the Champions League from rock bottom. As this is the squad we start with, you can see it's absolutely disgusting. And it is all regens. We've got a defender called Wall, Evans, Harvey and Davis are best players. Definitely need to sign though. Red Bull surely ready to invest. As you can see, the whole team is under 18-year-olds, which is mental. Basically shoving an academy into League 2 as Jaden Harvey, 16 years old, 66 rated. Oh yeah, and a nice little kit as a nice little budget, or big budget should I say, 5 million in League 2, which can go on 3 signings. I don't know why I added that rule, because we definitely need more to survive a mid-table finish. As let's get started, the first position we need a goalkeeper, Murphy Mahoney of QPR. Of course, a London club, or close enough. Not everywhere I pick will be central London, but it's in and around the vicinity, which counts to me, as here he is coming into the training ground, a lovely, very vibrant training ground in orange. I don't mind it as the next position, well, we don't have a right back in right back or a left back in left back. If you think my next signing isn't gonna be a fullback, you're right, because I'm not. I'm actually going for Roman Esse. Being commented quite a few times, looks very good with potential. He can be one of our wingers, because our attack needs help too. Being very smart with money as Esse welcome in. He's going to get game time right here, but has to change position. We've actually got attacking midfielders better than him already, so onto the right wing he goes. That drill takes 2 weeks. As I believe with them 2 signings, both being under $1 million, we can spend big time on Juan Jose Mina. Of course, you're thinking, Max, how can you go ahead and get an MLS player? He's got a release clause. And we've been smart with money, getting a huge player in here. 66 rated at 18-year-old. Still not Harvey potential though. As that's us all set with our best potential squad. It's going to be good to see how this changes as we try and climb the leagues. And with this being our hardest video on the channel up to date, I am pleading with you guys, if you haven't done, to subscribe. We are on a race to 30,000 subscribers, and the subscriber count is the highest it has ever been, which I love you guys already for. But if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so, as our team's slightly improving. As before we even check the table, a lot of position changes to make. Ollie Davis is now a 55 left back. Billy Vaughan is going to be a 57 centre back. Still not done there though. Henry Davis 63 and Nicholas Bell a 56. There was one more improvement as well. As all. It's how I expected. 24th in League 2. Is there any point checking the cups? I'm not even going to check them. 39 points. It is the worst you can do in the English leagues, which is a great start. But like I said, this is going to be a big challenge, as now Leipzig have to put their hands in their pockets. As before we dive straight into season number 2, I checked the cups last year. Round 1 of each thing. No movement, as Brooks was our best player last season, scoring 17 goals he may be a keeper. For the remainder of this save, as 6 million. That is a good budget, as I forgot to do something. Set a tactic, of course, as our wingers scored most goals. So we are going to go with wing play, and we haven't got any coaches yet. Just because I believe we need to spend the money on players, and definitely a striker. Our highest is 60 rated. Jude Davy, as we're looking solid on cams. Central midfielders, though, we've only got one good one. Telling me we need to sign a good one, as New York Red Bulls have Elias Manuel, a 22-year-old Brazilian striker. Now, if you're wondering why I'm picking New York out of any of the other Red Bull teams, it's because of the sell-on clauses, as this man has cost us 1.6 million, which I think is a steal. Moving him over from America, very good bit of business. Same with Jaden Sweeney for under 1 million. Coming from Leyton Orient, the left back is 63 rated, 22, so I think he'll fit just for now. Joining the ranks, as I think we've got a good team. The only position now, central midfielder. And with 4 million in the bank, there is one man that I found who's got a 1-year contract and a very good player. Of course, as RB London did take over Luton Town, Ross Barkley was a free agent, and he's at Charlton, which is only a league above, as we'll offer 3.6, and they do accept it. This could be a good deal as we wipe out our budget on Ross Barkley. A brilliant player, though, and a marquee signing. Come on, a 74 rated in League 2 football. We've got to get promoted soon, or he might retire. As here we go. We are not bottom of the league. We are 11th. Oh, I really wanted playoffs. As any damage in the cups, we were beaten by Port Vale. At least we did get a replay and hammered by Grimsby. My team in the Carabao Cup, as in the BSM Cup, we finished rock bottom. Okay, so I know we're not the best team. We definitely don't have a strong bench, but looking at it on paper now, why isn't that getting promoted? Ross Barkley going back up to a 75, Harvey at a 72, Mina at a 70. Their championship ratings. With the most goals from as well, our striker Manuel, who's only gone up 2. Don't like to see that. Needs a bigger increase next season. And next season, I tell you what, we need a bloody promotion. As this next season, £10 million in the 3rd tier of England, only making 3 signings, as that money's a steal. And speaking of a steal, there is kits on Soccer Deal Shop for very low prices. New replica Euro kits, Mbappe to Real Madrid kits, everything you want with a discount. And on top of that discount, you can use this code MWS10 for a further discount. Why would you not take it? Unbelievable pricing and unbelievable quality, as you may be able to tell, as we need to fix our defence up. Wall and Evans. It's funny that his name is Wall, because he's being anything but leaking goals for fun. We need someone more solid, as Chris Farino from Wycombe Wanderers does look a good centre-back. Oh, but he's too important. Is Lowe, his teammate, he's too important as well. A problem with getting a centre-back, which isn't a nice feeling, as we've got so many regen players, but Adam Morris of QPR is a regen from their academy. For less than 1 million, a steal. We're going to pay it. No release clause or anything. That is such a good deal. But if you think the stealing is done right here, though, we've got another huge steal who's going to break our budget. Goalkeepers are important, as Nico Mantle is 25-year-old, 72 rated. From Salzburg, and he's one of 2 players with a release clause. 3.6 million is affordable with our money, as it's an RB to RB move, but I'm honestly happy with that. I think Red Bull in real life would probably try and do this. As we'll end off with yet another London signing, coming from Charlton, Thierry Small, who shared the field with Barkley, as they've both snaked Charlton, but it looks like for the better. Look at that team. This is in League 2 of England. And I'm not talking Championship, I'm talking the 4th tier, as we walked it, as we should have done. This season, 3 seasons in, 107 trophies, and Huddersfield in this league. Very good competition, but we've won the competition. No luck in the FA Cup though, beaten by Barrow in the first round, and Carabao goes to City. They always bloody win it. Bristol Street Motors out of the groups, but lost to Leyton Orient. Fair enough. We wasn't focusing on any cup competition, as all we needed was this team promoted. Look at the ratings, man. Just look at the ratings. A lot of championship touching Prem quality in here, as Elias Manuel, 26 goals, Essie with 14, Brooks with 14, and Harvey with 13. He still looks very special. As is this, the start of domination for Red Bull here in England, League One, which we aim to just fly through. We've definitely got a squad capable of doing it, as the budget, 8 million. Less than I expected. But fair enough, we have spent a lot in previous years. Maybe another defender needed. We have only got one right back. One good right back though, Ross Barkley wanting out. We could do with another midfielder, but I think the attack's alright. As let's be honest, last year we had no problem with scoring goals, as I promise one day we'll sign from a different London club than QPR. But at the moment, the prices and everything, it's too high. We need to be smart from the Championship, because going there has offered so much good for us as Watford. I am counting it, of course, as London, as they've got some quality centre-backs, so I think I'm going to steal Ryan Porteous. I think we've got the money. Well, I don't think. I bloody know. A huge centre-half, and he should help get us realistically automatically promoted with that wage that we've given him. We better get some performances, as only 700k left. I thought we might have more than that, and we've still got room for a player. Over all these big guns, a strong bench as well as team, but look at the team, man. Just focus on that starting 11. As let's see our promotion, I shouldn't see anything else. And we have almost topped last year, 106 points. But it is another league title for RB London. The team is coming quick now. It really wants to be at top of world football. Huddersfield chasing us as nowhere near in the FA Cup. Carabao Cup, it is Tottenham winning that one. Finally getting a trophy as Huddersfield win the BSM. I guess that's only fair. We take the league and they take the trophy. Not one I cared about too much, as look at the ratings, man. Is this team good enough? Are almost good enough to jump straight into the Premier League as Manuel? I tell you what, he's only 74 rated, but he has not stopped scoring. And as we're a Championship club now, I've tried to smarten myself up wearing kind of a Red Bull kind of jumper. It's a stretch, but it's better than what we had on before, as 13 million in the bank. That's a Championship budget. A Championship budget hinting at Premier League pushing, as there's Brentford down here. That's pretty much it. Sheffield United and Southampton. No Leicester, no Leeds, no anyone really. This should be a shot at promotion as midfielders. We definitely could do with replacing Barkley. He's getting very old, and of course, everyone else isn't very old. Brooks is now the captain, but we could try and improve attack more, but then there's defense as well. And I'm really sick of signing defenders. But hey, it's something we've got to do, as now we are in the Championship, we can actually try and sign Premier League players for once. Unlocking a lot more London clubs to sign from, as you can see. Tottenham have 3 very capable left backs, and then Alberto Moretti, who looks like won't get much game time with 3 ahead of him, so we're going to phantom tax him from Spurs. That's our first signing and our 3rd left back signing, as I think it's time we leave the country and check out the other RB clubs. As it's the first time in this save we get to say hello to Leipzig, and definitely say hello to Sekou Fiune. As a backup man, I mean, that is a bit of a high offer, but it's an offer I'm willing to make, because I think he'll grow into the first team. As here he is, but one thing I didn't prepare fully for was when signing from the bigger clubs, the wages are bigger. So he's our last signing, because we're not going to get anything done with less than $1 million, and Are we actually quality enough for the Premier League at this moment in time? I'd love to win back-to-back-to-back titles, but I am not feeling too confident unless Harvey carries us. And it seems like he has, because we have made the playoffs, but it's Watford. Or if you know, you know. I hate playing Watford. We did finish above them though. Bolton making the playoffs. Go on, the Wanderers. Has any luck in the Cups? No, not in the FA Cup. Maybe the Carabao? No, it looks like Tottenham dominating that one. As speaking of Tottenham, how did our new Tottenham lad get on? He's got a +2, and the ratings do look decent. Our two best players beating Jaden Harvey and a Season 1 signing, Romain Esse, who of course as well is only 23-year-old. You can see Ross Barkley's going down as we're getting beat by Watford. I think I know how this one goes. We even finished above them, but it's a comeback and a goal from Sekou Thune, which could take us to the Premier League if we beat West Brom. As come on, lads, get it done. But Harvey, no, Harvey is injured. That's a big letdown. We've got some unhappy faces in the back line as well. Beaten by West Brom 2-1 at Wembley. I mean, we even had the home advantage, being RB London. Okay, so a bit of a failure. It's got to be said, we should have been pushing up there with the squad that we have. You can just tell Barkley needs replacing. He's come on the journey with us as 16 million. Right, we've got to buy 3 players this year, all 3 of quality, because we messed around a little bit. You can see Barkley's the same rating as Davies on the bench, who is only 22. Another player from the start, as I've swapped him around with Dozzle, and I wish I could put Sekou in, but he's still only 71. Trying to get there a little bit, as we're looking at the age of the players as well. It is midfield that we're aging in, so we definitely need to improve that. But Mantle, I know goalkeepers can go on a little bit longer, but he is 28-year-old. Maybe just consider that. We'll keep it in the back of our minds, as I know I said I wanted quality players, but Luka Vuskovic, he is calling my name. A 21-year-old, 75 rated. Right, we've got to think of a very smart offer to put in for him. As I'm thinking Porteous +7 million. Oh my days, just a sell-on clause. That is actually perfect. This man's 8 years younger than the Scotsman, who was 29-year-old and a rating lower than him. I'm buzzing to have him in. I think he'll be here a long time, as we did sell Barkley for less than $1 million. So we need another midfielder, as I'd even take one that can just get us to the Premier League, and then we can sign another one as Andy Irving. A midfielder to go in, as we just need probably a bench attacking midfielder now, a cheap one to back up Harvey, who is still injured, by the way. He's back in 5 weeks though. He'll be back for the start of the season, so yeah, we don't need to replace him, as we can get this man in, Louis Sibley, the Derby County youngster who was out at New York Red Bulls and would literally cap our budget. As this is our 3rd and final signing, and can he help us reach the Premier League, which is this season's big aim, as I'm hoping this time. Look at the last 2 results. That's all I'm looking at, actually. 2 unbeaten, which hopefully means it is another league title. I would have been fine with automatics, but we've done better this year. 94 points, that is 3 titles already. Sorry, Watford, you're dusted. We're leaving you in the Championship. Taking a title with us as West Brom and Tottenham in the FA Cup, no semi even. And Tottenham have won another Carabao. Don't believe that. They are actually doing amazing. As speaking of amazing, of course, look at the ratings. Got me so hyped that I even had to sing it. Jaden Harvey, Eze, Mina, all over 80. And an overall very good team, as if this is relegated. Again, I'm quitting the save. This is a Conference League team. As there, I've gone ahead and said it now, hopefully speaking it into existence, but in order to do that fully, we'd probably need another midfielder, and I am bored of signing them, but Dozzle isn't getting any younger, and same with Irving. Bought as a bit of a panic buy, I can't lie, just to get a replacement for Barkley, as this man needs a stronger partner. He's got Adam Morris, who's not worked out to full potential. He's 23-year-old now. I think we could go even lower. Get a quality player in. Oh, and 55 million. That is enough for a big quality player if we spend our money right. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for another old player, but an old player the step above. Eberechi Eze. Crystal Palace wanting 32. I reckon I could get him for lower. So if we could steal him for around 26, what a signing that would be. As here he is coming to the dark side, as our actual kit looks like something he would wear as a Crystal Palace away kit. And we didn't get the discount we wanted, but still 32.3 million. He should hopefully step us up, as a centre-back should step us up. As my sincerest apologies to all the other RB clubs, especially Leipzig, as I want to take Giovanni. I'm willing to keep it at 2 signings, spend all my money plus Adam Morris on this man. Oh, but them demands are too high. No, I'm going to say no. I'm going to have to maybe look in England, because there's nothing really in Austria and nothing in the MLS. As this is second choice, Eric Garcia of Fulham, 28-year-old, so not young, but 82 rated. As we will offer similarly enough the same for this man, 17 million. Marco Silva, you have got yourselves an agreement. As here he is joining RB London. He's been at Man City, now he's at the other chain of clubs in the Red Bulls. As it's maybe a weird time to admit this, but I've actually never had a Red Bull in real life, as this is our team. You can see we've changed our midfielder. Harvey and Eze working as cams in the lineup with Irving sitting. It's very attacking heavy. As please tell me there is some European football. Come on, we deserve it. Are we fighting relegation? No! It is 7th place, which should be Conference League, the thing I literally spoke about. It's draws that's done as well. I like that though. I like it. We are close to Champions League already, skipping through them 2 seasons or 3 seasons in League One have helped us, but this season's not helped Harvey. He's been stuck on an 85. Eze up to an 85. He's still got potential, and everyone above now, well, apart from Irving, of course, above 80 rated. We didn't have a good bench, but yeah, we've got a beautiful first team. As how many goals? Only 12 for our striker. Excited for what is straight away European football, but we've got to improve our team if we want to win one game in that. As I'll check which it is, and oh, okay, we didn't get any European football. I'll never understand it. It's got something to do with trophies. I appreciate you guys always trying to tell me, and I do listen, but I'm terrible with remembering it. As the team, well, Irving looks the easiest to replace. I think I've got a different idea. We have 49 million, so it's a little bit less than last time, and for an 8th place finish, that is quite shocking to me. Still, I'm going to spend it well, and actually, I am going to go for a midfielder. I just wanted to throw you off. Kuzjan Alansi, or Aslani, however you say it, as his contract is running out. We've offered the 36 million. And they've wasted their time here. That was literally his minimum evaluation with 1 year on his contract. But anyway, we'll change up. Chelsea's young goalkeeper. Getting this man for cheap would leave us with a little bit more money. 29 million. Accepted. Just get him through our doors and throw away the key. Literally, he's going through the doors right now. He was second choice at Chelsea, behind, I believe, Kepa. Mad to think that, as I think after it we have to sell Nico Mantle for a little bit of money to pay contracts and get another backup keeper. As let's face it, we can go cheaper. Christian Navarro coming across from New York RB for literally 1.8 million. Good money saving move, as Mantle leaves straight after adding, I believe, just under or over 20 million, which gives us enough to go and get Mads Bidstrup from RB Salzburg. He's better rated than Irving is. As welcome Mads. What a steal of a player, by the way, when we were going to pay that much for Asllani. And we've just got a gem right here. As what are we going to look like this season, I wonder? Arsenal down in 15th. It's like our rebuild the other day. If you haven't seen that, it'll be somewhere in the iCards as we... Oh my days. We've got Champions League football. Again with the draws. Only picking up 3 again and only 69 points. Which sometimes isn't Champions League worthy. Incredibly well as FA Cup, no chance. Carabao Cup, no chance. That either goes to Tottenham or Man City without failure, as that is the Champions League final, the competition we will be playing in if we don't drop out in the group, which I can't lie, I expect, or I did expect, should I say, because the team, the ratings, they are higher than just normal 80s. And OG players like Mina and Esse, and of course Harvey and Brooks, our region's doing very well. As we failed on Conference League 2 seasons ago, Champs League now, and 130 million after I've paid some coaches. Or not coaches, but contracts. I've paid some contracts and we have got to focus on 3 positions only. Helping us out a bit because we don't need to go mental. We need a left back and backup goalkeeper, or maybe backup centre back. 2 of those 3, as the rest of the money I want to go on a new striker to replace Manuel. As for the Champions League, he's 29, 84 rated. Brilliant, fast and strong striker for off the bench in games. But I don't think he's going to start. I just have a feeling, so maybe get him on the bench. Or maybe turn him into a winger. How long will it take? 17 weeks, you know, because we do have Sekou as a backup striker who's decently rated. But we don't, as you can see, have any good wingers. So yeah, that's a perfect swap. If he makes it, and we get a new striker. But that's not straight away, of course, as we're going to lead up to that. The first player, a 33-year-old Renan Lodi for backup left back. As this man has the 3 C's, cheap, cheerful, and Champions League experience, as well as Premier League. Of course, he'll only glue to the bench, though, alongside this man, another aging Brazilian in Bremer from Leipzig. For only 22 million, he's a steal, and plus Champions League experienced again, and could go in the first team. Can play him for a little bit. Now, though, this is where we play with our budget. 91 million left. As the man I want to bring in, Youssoufa Moukoko. I love this man, and somehow he always ends up at Spurs. Doing a Sol Campbell, betraying Tottenham Hotspur to come to the new London rivals in RB London. Love having him on board, as you might have thought maybe replace Bidstrup, but he's had a good first season getting us into the Champions League. So he's got the right to be here, as this is the group that we're in. We've got Real Madrid in here, Frankfurt, and Rangers of Glasgow. As I can't lie, I'm kind of expecting us to be up there. We're not below 13th, which is good enough for me. It's Champions League football. It is Champions League football, and we've took less defeats than usual. It's actually draws that have put us lower. Fine, fair enough. I guess you don't get your luck all the time. Leicester City, though, 3rd and a trophy. They are so good in career modes as also. First time that's happened. Bottom of a group. A group that, no offense, but I think we should have been kind of second or first, maybe, if we slipped up, as this is how our team looks. A lot of 86s around, a lot of 89s around, no 90 rated yet, and it's time for Bremer to come out. As any budge on, yes, Manuel becomes a left wing up to an 87 rating. Very nice for the Brazilian. As how many goals did he get? He got 11, but hey, he is higher rated than Luca Brooks. Granted, he's a lot older, and Brooks was top scorer with Esse in 2nd and Harvey in 3rd. Love it from our day oneers. And this season has started by signing some contracts up, because we are RB London and RB like to pay some money out. Taking our budget down from what was 166 million. It is not looking good, Brev. Not looking good. We're just going to have to keep on signing, as I'm stuck between a younger winger, but of course we've got Brooks on the bench. And maybe, well, definitely I've got to say, a younger centre-back. Eric Garcia is getting old. So hurry on out the team as we got another one coming in, but it's not this man who we've got for cheap. Carlos Coronel. Our goalkeeper, or backup keeper, Rivero, just decided to leave straight away, so Coronel comes onto the bench. As I'm thinking about a backup striker, but I do want to spend most of my money on a centre-back, of course, and I believe that's what we'll do. As bienvenido to the new Spaniard, Javier Fernandez. This man doesn't betray Spurs, but betrays Arsenal. Coming across from the Gunners, as he is basically a 5 years younger Garcia for a left-sided centre-back. 4-star weak footers. No, I was expecting maybe to look for a 90 rated, but I just couldn't find one on the market from our decided teams, so that is us done. We've got like 10 million left, and I'm not going to waste it on a nobody. As speaking of nobodies, we've got to make sure we aren't one, as we've got a group that I think we should fly through. As we've skipped to the end of the season, and just tell me we've done something. Oh, well, I was expecting to see the table first. A Champions League final against Sevilla, the Europa League kings, as we play. Wow. That semi-final round looks very suspicious. We hammered Wolfsburg. No huge teams in that. Only Barcelona in the quarters. Oh, and Real Madrid. I didn't see them. And then in the round of 16, we did knock out Paris. But I've got to say, no Man City or anything. I mean, Leicester were in there. So we've had a very easy run to the Champions League final, as that is the team we've had. I say easy, we've had players improve, of course. Makoko, Mina, Preston, and Day 1 Harvey. He's been so brilliant, and of course he will play in this one. How many goals did he actually get? Not as much as Esse, as Roman Esse has been a brilliant player, and our Champions League form has cost our Premier League form. 10th as the FA Cup. Didn't even make a semi-final. Leeds and Palace in the final. What's with the finals of these cups, man? As oh my days. Hull City win the Carabao Cup. Hull City of the Championship. Jeez, I just don't know what to say as we are back on the team. I think it's worth putting Evans on the bench. That being our only change, as that is the team that will compete for RB London in the final of the Champions League. The newly formed RB London are in the final, and the first Red Bull team to ever make the Champions League final, which is going to be very fun. And if you haven't noticed, with this mod, we've only got one kit, and Sevilla also in red and white. But thankfully I can see short colours, as that is a brilliant ball through. And if we could just take the lead, maybe they can't see their own players, as it's a ball into Mokoku. And almost an early goal. Very, very close. It's going to be Bidstrup to deliver the corner, looking for Javier Fernandez. It might fall down right here for Eberiche Eze, looking for an angle. Coming close with that one, you know, as now we've got to try and get close again to them. Come on, dominating. Harvey's only a small player. Didn't realise how small he was, as Manuel on the wing. He's a bit too big for the wing, too stocky. I don't think he'll have pace, although he's got 98. The acceleration type, or the body type of the player, isn't really working here. As what have they just given? Yeah, defo there, free kick. I mean, nothing bloody happened. Still, we just get the ball back again, and he's got a good acceleration there. I go back to eat my words, as a ball into Mokoku, and surely a handball from the Sevilla centre-back. Who is it? It's, I think, Carter Vickers, that, and it does hit the hand of the player, so we're not going to sacrifice the penalty. Instead, we're going to take it as Mokoku. Oh, that's a bit too much power, you know, but he powers it top corner. 1-0 RB London. Love it, as we don't need to see a replay of a penalty, do we? Unless it's a really special one, as they could get level straight away. What a save from Ferguson, the goalkeeper. He was only 81 rated when we bought him. I believe he's 91 now. Look at the sprint we've got on here as well. This is chance for 2 into Mokoku on the turn. That's got to be another handball, surely. We all saw that one. Bloody hit the hand of the defender, the central palm. So we hit a face, but we still are dominant here. I'm loving it. We just need to try and get another goal ourselves. But they've gone through just before half-time, Wimmer, the Austrian, who I don't think's that good in career mode, gets the goal, which is the equaliser. We don't want to watch that one back. Fair play, you know. Fair play. They have managed to somehow scrape a goal. And now it's all square at halftime in a game we should be dominating. Come on, Red Bull. We need to try and find a goal from somewhere now. We're down this right-hand side. And we've cut straight in. A chip over the top. This could be an instant goal. Oh my days, what a save. Was that Harvey? Yeah, it is Harvey, our main player. He's got a very small torso, I've got to say. Very small player, as that is a good ball into the box, and it glanced its way into the middle. Literally all it needed was another glance, as do not let Sevilla score. They've got through right here. Another big save from Ferguson. One of the best keepers I think I've ever used in this game at the moment, as we need to try and charge on. Almost through the middle. Jaden Harvey making another run. What a tackle by Jaime Fernandez as well, as now we need to keep on marching. It's Manuel swapping places with Jaden Harvey. No one in the middle for him to really cross to, but he takes this ball and tries to chip it. He's just blocked it with his fists. Can't do that, ref, as now we're going to try and roll this into the path. And what a wasted free kick, man. They could actually go through on goal right here. Someone tackle him. Someone tackle him, please. He goes for an audacious shot, and now we can counter-attack. Not really my style, but there's a chip over the top right there, and it's found its way to Moukoko. All he has got to do is score, and of course he does. Getting his second of the game, the German, and I love it. A beautiful little counter-attack to sink Sevilla's dreams. The defender should have done better, and I tell you what, it's Carter Vickers again. 2 mistakes from the American and 2 goals for Moukoko. I love it. I love it. But hang on right here. That is an audacious little challenge. But Jaime Fernandez has been brilliant. Then again, they could have been level there. And what is Moretti doing? Such a stupid pass. But another bit of recovery. What's happening? We can't pass the ball. But luckily, our blast upfield does give us the ball back up to Harvey, and Moukoko, who's on a hat-trick, gets the ball as there's a man still in the middle, and we can't chip it across. But it's a free kick our way on a very tight angle, and Remain Essay. He's remained here from the start, and it's into the back of the net. What a free kick from Remain, which catches me by surprise. How has he put that into the back of the net? I don't have a clue. Let's have another look at this. I mean, please show me a proper angle. He's got good shot power, as it's just sailed over the wall, and oh, it hit the goalkeeper's glove. The goalkeeper took a post to the face. I don't know how we've just done that. But look at that angle. Just the goal we needed, as we're just going to play this around, maybe look for a fourth. If we could get a good run through the middle, I would have loved Harvey to score this game. Still, we've got a few goals now, and referee, call the game, call the timer. Don't let them attack, because they could get another goal back here, which flatters them a little bit too much. It bounces back in the middle. They've got it through, and they have got their goal. Shameful is that, but I honestly don't care, because I'm literally just going to go straight to kickoff right now and take it, which ends the game and ends the Red Bull, should I say? I can't even say the name of the teams now. Run without a Champions League. Because here in London, we have done it for the energy drink, a Champions League in the cabinet, and a contract ticked off. As all that's left now is a Champions League trophy lift. It's going to be a Rebecce Eze, and I don't know why it's orange. It's probably because the club replaced Luton Town in career mode, as if you want to see this done maybe in another country, comment down below and I will see if I can make that happen. As if you want to try this mod as well, it should be in the description. One of the world's biggest sponsors is Red Bull. Not only being a drink, but taking over sports. They've got a Formula 1 team, plenty of football teams, and they've just gone into England sponsoring Leeds. But one place they haven't been and maybe they want to go to is Italy, of course, where football is life. And with there being 2 teams dividing the capital, maybe Red Bull could slip in and challenge the Milans. As after previously conquering England with a Red Bull club, we move to Italy, forming RB Milan. As yes, people, here we are. We are going to be the manager. You can see by the background, it's a Serie B side. As we're making big footballing moves, you can't really see the name on the back, but of course I am the manager, and I want to help my team. As there it is in the top corner, you can see it is RB Milan, but the players won't be very good. And I'm hoping the budget will be. Being sponsored by Red Bull, but only 3 million. So that is quite hard, but it is going to get harder. As you can see on screen, there is a contract we must abide by. Red Bull are sponsoring the club, but also want specific things. As the first point, we can only sign from other Milan clubs or other Red Bull clubs, keeping the chain alive. But not only just sign from them, we can only sign 3 players a season, and also with the youth, we can sign as many as possible. That's not restricted to 3, but one thing we've got to do to complete the Red Bull Challenge is win the Champions League. Something the brand's never done with any of its teams, as speaking of teams, this is the one we start with, and it's all youth players. They are all from Italy, and you can see the kit right there. It is a very nice design. Copying the Milans by taking their stripes. As if you do want to use this kit, the badges, the mod, it will be in the description, as this is the team we start with. It's going to be very difficult with only 2 players over 60. In Diego Mancini, he does look quite special to be fair. And then Ricky, they're both in the same position. So I'm going to have to change those, as a lot of rubbish players. But the only positive is everyone's got a long contract, so at least we don't have to spend on contracts. But academy, I have gone and spent with. Everyone can't be promoted. Nicolo Gallo, I mean Ivan, Ricky and Marchetti look like they could be used now. But we can't, of course, use them, as this is the squad. I'm looking at centre-back first, or maybe midfield, as 2 players in Costa and Abate not even touching the rating of 50 overall. So yeah, not impressive, as I think to impress, we need a young midfielder from Milan this time. Kevin Zeroli is 18 years old and 64 rated. Shouldn't cost us too much. So without further ado, we go and make him our first signing, and our first in real life one I'm very happy with. Straight in the midfield, and he will take the left slot because he's got a better weak foot than the sloppy Costa, who's not a very good player, but still not my next replacement, as I want to go and find a centre-back from elsewhere. And with our finances being 1.8 million, it's not actually 2 because I know he just cost 1.3. We've got to be careful with money, as the next player I'm going to head to Bragantino for Alson Botello, as here he is for 1.5 million from the Brazilian league. I didn't sign from here when I did my RB London save. So into new territory, as he's not going to play midfield though. He's a CDM who I'm going to train at centre-back. Taking only 2 weeks, we can sort our team's tactics, then come back to him, and then start the season. As I'm not going to lie, I know Red Bull will probably want us challenging straight away, but I'm going kick and rush, because with the young team, we've got no chance in competing. We just don't want to finish bottom and build on from there. As I've skipped a few weeks as well before the first game, and we're going to change Botello to a 71, and also change some other players like Antonio Bruno, who now finds himself on the bench, but not in this team. And can we avoid that bottom spot, as there I am in the Red Bull gear, and here I am asking you guys for a bit of support. Because if you want to give us luck in this rebuild, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also leave a like. On the race to 40k, as we didn't finish bottom, I mean very, very close to, but Lecce, like real life, will go to Serie C, as I think we would have gone as well if there was relegation, but no, we survive. And that's good for Red Bull, as of course we're not doing well in the cup. It is the other Milan team, which we will take over. Mark my words, we just need to get in the playoffs to start with, which haven't been decided, but we won't partake in them, as we only made 2 signings. But how have they done? Well, we've got a 69 Zeroli, a 73 Botello, but the man in the moment above all the rest of the youth we start with is Mancini, the winger, who is 70 rated. I want to build a team around him, as we've got some position changes. I am sticking with this formation, maybe for just one season. As I'm changing these guys around, Ricky doesn't get an upgrade, but maybe this Ricky does, because there's two named Ricky. And one of them's quite high rated, who can actually play Cam. If we could get a Cam into the team, you never know, could be helpful, as hopefully more money next season anyway to buy with, as our top scorer at the club was Martinelli, the striker. The season we all expected. Come on, are we going to win the Champions League, which Harry Kane wins? Actually getting a trophy. Congratulations to him. But yeah, with this team, we don't expect anything, but can we get a bigger budget? 8 million euros. That's enough to go and spend. So we'll be looking at Bragantino. We'll be looking at all the Red Bulls and, of course, Milan's. But before we get fully into it, where do we need to actually sign? Right, I am thinking another midfielder because 48 rating is embarrassing. Then again, I'll pay for an academy, and we could do with some centre-backs, a keeper, and also another centre-forward. As yes, that guy was called Romano, like Fabrizio Romano, as Nicolo Gallo finally can get promoted. As could he be a centre forward? Well, it only takes 24 weeks, so I may try this guy and spend elsewhere, including on our scout, as of course I'm sending him to Italy. And the player I'm going to look for, I am going to go central defence, because we do need more players. And we've completed our scouting straight away with Marco Bruno the best. He actually isn't a centre-back. What is our scout doing? Does he want to do what I told him to? Anyway, we're going to move on, and we are going to sign one of our own. In hopefully this man Blank, because he's 19-year-old, only 66 rated, and looks like the future. As here he is arriving from his flight from Austria. The German centre-half. A lot of potential in him. But guess what? He will not be joining the club alone, as we have another player. This man, well, I didn't mention at first because I cannot say his name. Is it Akin Sanmiro? 19 years old, 65 rated, and from Inter Milan, but will play with Zercoli. As they've gone from rivals to teammates while staying in Milan, it must be a weird feeling for them. And Blank, who's come abroad, leaving us with 3 million, and I do have a player in mind. In fact, I've got him that far in my mind, I've already put a bid in. As we're going back to AC, mixing our Milans with Devis Vasquez, was on loan at Sheffield Wednesday, as he's staying in the capital but moving Milan clubs. But this guy wasn't cheap. 8,000 contract. Probably making other players in this team feel very jealous of their pay, including Mancini, who should be paid more. As hey, maybe I will pay him more. If he does well at a centre-forward role, he now will play in. Allows Ricky to go back, Mancini to move forward. Now everyone's in position. The team is looking stronger. And can that squad maybe challenge mid-table? Because we can't be down there again. We need to make progress. And I've got my fingers tightly crossed. And I don't usually do this, but before we go in to see our league table at the end of the season, Marco Bruno can be a centre-back and 62 rated at only 15. He should be in this team next year for this man, D'Angelis, who hasn't done well. He'll still get a place on the bench. As we've got a 76 centre-back, a 72 midfielder, and a 70, but wow, Akin Sanmiro. Brilliant stats, and he has just arrived at the club, as there's a lot of decent ratings. Mancini 75, and no wonder the midfielder's done well at the club this year, because from central midfield, 18 goals. Fantastic for the Red Bulls, as we're not in the bottom 13. Could we have got promoted this year? Slowly sneaking up. Oh my days, we're in the playoffs. 7th. That's fine by me. Playoff football in our second season with this club. As the team that we will face, we've got to go through a quarter-final, and it's Como says Fabregas's team that he manages? Or does he actually own them? Or does he do both? I don't know. Please win, though. Can we go and get promoted? No, we are beaten. Martinelli with our only goal, and that's, funnily enough, the man I want to replace. As yes, he is our striker, and he's 61 rated. Not the lowest in the squad, but we do need to go better. Maybe train him as a centre forward. That could be a good thing, but what is not a good thing, or the contracts finishing. As I've signed them all up, and they have all took increases to their wages, so I'm not buying a scout this year. I'm just going to promote Mark Bruno and be done with it. 65 rated at 16 years old. This man's for the future. As in, he goes. And that squad looks a lot better. It's the striker that we need. I've put Romano there just for show. And has the money snuck up again? Yes, it has. 11 million. Red Bull are a big club. And of course, they've got that moolah. So they're going to go and share it. As AC Milan have a Serbian striker, I believe, called Leipzig. Something along them lines. But you know what I'm getting at, because Petar Ratkov could be our competing one. As for 2.6 million, we can afford him. He's too valuable to the team. Oh my days. So to my second option, which I'm very much still happy about, Yannick Eduardo. If we could steal him from Leipzig, it's a huge player to get. Of course, he will take a huge wage, but we just want a striker first and foremost. Crucial, and we will pay the money for the quality, as here he is in Milan. No face in his little picture, but there's not many in our team, and we're going to make the faceless squad if we keep on going with these signings. As Akin Samiro, Zircoli, and now Eduardo. Are we going to make another one at left mid? Ricky right there. Or actually, I've not seen the right-hand-sided position. Now, that needs to be stronger. But I can't lie. Finding a right-hand-sided player from all these teams is incredibly difficult. Milan don't play wingers. Or Inter, I'm sorry, as AC do, but they're good. Like Pulisic, Griezmann, Chukwueze, not to mention Leao. As what we're going to do is we're going to try and take this man from Inter, Valentin Carboni, to try and train him as a right mid. But if he's not good, it doesn't matter anyway, because I'm going loan to buy. 6 million will be the price tag if he wants to stay. But of course, if he isn't good enough, we can just sign any other player. As welcome Carboni, he is left-footed, yes, but he's going to play on the right for us. And maybe sign that contract? 6 million was agreed upon, and that's all we've got. So we kind of need to keep our money only after 2 signings. Because if he is good, I of course want him to stay at the club. As now, it's all about getting players out the club. As I've loaned some lads out, but that's not all. All these 45 rateds that haven't got loan deals. I've released a few of them, but I'm not releasing all of them because we need to watch our money and need to watch our position swaps. As Carboni has completed his, he stays at a 71, but hopefully helps us go for promotion. As I was very nervous starting this big Milan build, because I was going to wear the AC Milan shirt, which I got from Soccer Deal Shop, the sponsors of the channel. I also got this Venezia one. We're going all Italian today. As if you do use the code on screen, you can get yourself some cheap kits and also help the channel with your support. They are really good quality as well. This has Rafael Leao on the back. Could we actually sign him today? Speaking of signing, Carboni in the team. Well, I've got to look at the team first because there's an 80 rated in here. Also a 79 in Mancini and Botello. But yeah, Carboni the third best. And we have got to try and settle that loan to buy option. As what does this say? I've actually never done this on FIFA before. Yes, I'm going to pay it. Please just sign. As there we go. We gave him, I think, was it 22k? So a lot a week for this man. But I trust him to hopefully have us up there in the league, as it won't be playoffs, it will be automatics. Goal difference stopped us from winning the league, but we're 5 points clear of Cremonese. We are going up. No trophy, which is a shame, and both Milan clubs in the final of the Coppa Italia. Such a shame, as we'll be there one day. Just gonna trust the process, as we was in the playoffs last year. We are trusting this process and making progress, as Yannick Eduardo, the striker we did sign, was our top scorer. Very proud of our promotion, but let's be honest with ourselves, is that team that you see good enough to survive? 180 rated and then one almost 80 does not cover for a 68 centre-back and winger who is terrible, alongside the bench, which is terrible. Just look at those players, and the players we sent out on loan, they're down here and back, and they are also very terrible. We've got 161 and that doesn't cut it. Glad we still got this tactic of kick and rush in the top division, because we stand no chance if we actually play normal, as we can't afford coaches. Well, I'm guessing anyway, because I haven't checked our budget and I know it's going to be bad. As 20 million. I know we can only make 3 signings, but even that is woeful. As do we pay for an academy? We've already got a scout, but with him being 2-star, I might leave that for now, as I'll put my scouting brain on and look for a left mid, which is very difficult to find, especially in Italy or Milan. As maybe we do it again. Maybe we go for this man, Dijon Kameri from Salzburg, as it says he can be a right winger, but I'm going to try and get him on the left and see if he's a good option. As worst possible outcome, we've just signed a good midfielder, and for £7 million, not a bad price tag. As can he play left mid? Yes, he can. Only 2 weeks. A very nice sight, as I am going to trust him, leaving us needing a centre forward more than a centre back. Yes, Bruno needs replacing, but immediately, I actually don't know, because if we put all 11 million into one player only, we can leave him in the squad. Or actually, could we sell our striker, Yannick Eduardo? He's got a good bidding from Liège. And you know what? I'll accept it. I'm not accepting Tottenham, or I might negotiate Tottenham. See if we get a good deal. As yes, we did. We got 30 million from Spurs, so we have sold our top scorer in order to get money, taking us up to 37, but still he may stay the centre-back, because we need to replace the striker and also need that centre forward. This is where rules hurt, because yes, we can afford 3 replacements, but we've already signed a player, and we're only allowed 3 signings. So we need to make sure the strikers we sign are good quality, as the first one, a bit cheaper, Salcido. As for only 8 million, he's only 24 as well. We've signed a quality player, and it's left us with plus 20 or 20 plus million pounds, as I think we've got 25, so we can afford Jesus Ferreira. As yes, you can't see the name on the shirt, but we've gone and signed him, a brilliant addition. So that's our 2 strikers, or should I say striker and centre forward, as Eddie Salcedo will change position. Hopefully he gets played. As Dijon Kameri, he also changes. He stays at the same rating, but he'll be 75 soon. As hopefully we can say the same for our 2 midfielders and defenders, because Bruno is, of course, playing. As JSS, just survive somehow is the motto in times like this. As we do survive 14th, Red Bull have a top tier side for at least another season. And no offense to those teams below us, but you expect them to be, because we've made good signings. How have they progressed though? As the Coppa Italia is won by AC Milan. Again, Milan team. When's our chance to dominate? We're signing players from them like Zaroli, who's increased, 76 rated. And then in fact the other ones, Vasquez as well. He's the only other AC man. Maybe we need to go to AC more. As Bruno, I see, has definitely improved as a defender. And Blanc, 74. He's actually our lowest rated. So maybe next out of the team, as I did have to sign contracts up. The only player we lose is Nicolo Gallo, as our top scorer this season was the youth player that has stuck as a centre forward and won't be released, Diego Mancini. I never, ever want to lose that man in this save, as the Champions League graphic, it keeps popping up. PSG still with Mbappe, and we want to be there one day. As our aim initially, though, is to just finish mid-table, or if we're very lucky, finish above Milan. It'd be great if we could, as we've got 38 million. And of course, we can weaken them by signing from them. Although I don't want to do that straight away, but I know which position we need, and we have to go and get the centre-back option. Come on, we're an Italian club. They've got to have good centre-backs, and Strahinja Pavlovic, you should have seen him in the Euros. He tried to bully Saka in the second half for Serbia against England, but I kind of want him for that. As can we get him? No, we're beaten to him by Atlanta. That is horrible. Beaten by another Italian side who gets stronger instead of us. So screw it, I'm going to weaken an Italian side by going to Milan, by going and getting this man for just under 9 million, Marco Pellegrino, and he's not valued at that. Said 12 million a second ago, and he was in his final year of contract, so through the reserves we go. He takes over central centre-back? Or maybe could go right, Botello in the middle, and we need a stronger bench. Maybe a backup striker. As I know there's other clubs, and I keep going back to them, but I'm stealing from Salzburg again for Petr Ratkov. Wanted him before, and gone and got him, as he won't be a starter this time, but he's still got potential. Less of it, sure, and for only 8 million, leaves us with about 17 for a central midfielder, I'm thinking. And absolutely perfect. Keys Schmidt for 17 million. This man's at Inter, as yes, it's not a rating increase, but he's younger than Zaroli, and of course, he adds to our weak bench, as this is what I'm worried about. Next season, though, we'll get stronger, and I think we'll fill that out, or fill 3 of the 4 out. But for now, of course, it's all about this first team again, which is majorly the same, but I'm sticking with it. And I'm so surprised we've actually stuck with our formation, as we're going to see how it's done. We'll check the league first, as we're up there in 5th. And yes, I don't care about any European football, but we finished above Milan. I knew we'd be better this year. Our players have good potential. And yes, it's not Champions League, a little bit of a bummer. And 66 points isn't the highest point margin in the world, because we took 10 defeats and took 9 draws. For goodness sake, we wasn't good at all as wow. Lecce, who finished bottom of the Serie B, have won the Coppa Italia. That's amazing to actually see. We never did that, I don't think, when I actually rebuilt them. Yes, I have done that on the channel, as this is how our team looks. Our front 3 of Salcido, Ferreira, and Mancini, who I thought would go higher rated than the rest of them, but no, is brilliant. And yes, our midfield's probably weakest, or our defensive triangle, because goalkeeper next year. Vasquez is, I think, yep, he's 30. So hasn't got many years left, the Colombian. And our backups, we've got 3 of them, but very, very bad ones. Pellegrino's been alright, and Blank's a good bench player. We need to fill that bench as our top scorer this season. Ferreira, our striker, then our left centre-forward, and our right centre-forward. Makes perfect sense. As ladies and gentlemen, I think we've hit that point with getting European football. I hope so anyway. All our players in the squad are young and upcoming, so those that don't improve anymore, like Schmidt and maybe Bruno, we have to replace with only world-class quality. Let's face it, our budget should be bigger and we're in a better position, as what do the board expect? Only the group stages of the Europa League, okay, but please show me the money, because we're sponsored by Red Bull. They are rich. And are we rich? Yes, we are. 80 million, that is a lot of finances to go and get our players with. So where do we go first? Well, of course I pointed Bruno out, but with him being a youngster, I might replace Schmidt. And yes, we have just got him. And I did talk about goalkeeper when we go all the way up. Where is he? There he is, Vasquez. I will replace him, but obviously players in goal are not as expensive, and we can sign an older keeper, because of course they don't retire till they're very much older, and Inter have only got 1 goalkeeper. So with the rules being the rules, and we can sign from other Milan clubs, I'm going to weaken them and steal their only GK. Good luck to them for the future, as Michel De Gregorio, he is going to replace Vasquez, and he is going to step in. And yes, Milan's goalkeeper was Diogo Costa, who was affordable, but I went and signed the Inter keeper because they finished above us and now they don't have any goalkeeper. Yes, they'll get some money, but I think they will struggle because of it. So I'm happy with that signing, and I'm happy with this sale. This is Zaroli, our first ever signing. He's leaving to Lazio for £38 million because he was only 22. And was 78 rated? Because I'm trying something special here, I am taking the risk of a less good player on the bench, and of course selling a youthful player to give us 80 million again, and to also sign an old boy, but an old boy with potential to rock Europe. It's Barella, and oh my days, what are the chances? He's at RB Leipzig after moving from Inter? This is weird because he still fits within the rules because it's another RB club which allows us to sign him. As I like this guy already, he's already betrayed Inter and he's now back in Milan from a little holiday in Germany, as he goes straight in for Schmidt, and he's the highest rated already and hopefully should raise the ratings of those around him. Brilliant, as we're left with 6 million actually, so I'm going to sign the contracts up and maybe some coaches, as I've gone ahead and yep, got all that done, ready for the Europa League group stage with Antwerp, Rapid and IEK. And I want to see the team before I see anything else because as the Barella effect happened for us. Well, we've got some good ratings, but 2 big injuries. Kamari, 86 rated, so he's going to be a big loss. And Bruno, 85. He's come on leaps and bounds. But both not played, of course. We've got Portello, who's been here since day 1. And then our strike force, absolutely brilliant. Just that bench, you know. Of course, I'm still very worried because our 59 rated seems to have replaced our defender. And I'm actually intrigued. What was his match rating? A 6.07, and he even scored a goal. You know what? Good on him. As Mancini was the best player though, he scored 22, Salcedo got 19, and Kamari got quite a few as we didn't finish bottom 13. We actually finished 12th. Not a good season. I thought we'd weaken Inter, but no, they finished 5th and still way above us. What has happened to our club? Hey, I don't know what's happened, but we are still somehow competing domestically. With a Coppa Italia win over Empoli, I think we might have got an easy run. I mean, we've got Empoli in the final. No offense, Empoli fans, as in the group as well, in the Europa League group, we surpassed expectations, winning it as then we beat Wolfsburg, Leipzig out, and then we beat Leverkusen, who knocked out Leipzig, doing a Red Bull team a favour. Then in the semis, we actually beat Brighton to go on to the final, where we beat Villarreal, so we're in the Champions League, despite being terrible in the Serie A, because that's inexcusable. Do we need to sign defenders? Is that because we had players injured? I don't actually know, as Bruno is 85 rated. He's actually higher rated than Carboni, who's gone up 1. Thought this man was brilliant. Thought this man was the Messi, or the next Messi, should I say. He's the same rating as Kamari. He's gone down as well, and Bruno is almost back, who's gone to an 84. But I'm kind of still trusting him. As yes, we've got 3 signings, but 83 million, a decent squad as it is, that can go on 1 player. Unless we sell a player, of course, as this season we're expected to reach the final and then in the league, win the Scudetto. As spoiler alert already, that's definitely not happening. Our highest rated's 88. We've got no 90 rated, which thinking about it thoroughly, I would love to have. It's just that step up and cuts through, maybe cuts the top 4, as that's where I'd love to be. And hey, we've got a big offer for Eddie Salcedo, which gives us a choice here. 108 million from Paris Saint-Germain. But we've been reviving the man's career, but I think we sell, as I know which player I want. So goodbye, Eddie. Have a good holiday. Go to France and go and smash it. But don't win the UCL, because we're going to be going for that. And that should give us around 190 million euros to get our big baller, which is this man. Of course we wanted to get Rafael Leao. He can play centre forward, 91 rated. And have I overpaid for him? 100%. But do I care? No! He's our big action player. 148 million, which is bad because it's actually more than I initially expected. But the only players we want to sign now are bench players, because the state of the bench at the moment, I mean, if we played Grimsby, we'd probably lose out. So the first signing, we're going to go to RB Leipzig for Ozan Kabak, the Turkish man. I know he's 29, but the man has potential in my eyes being over 80, so that is why I've signed him as backup. But Leipzig, if you think you are safe, you are definitely not, as they've got Johnny Rowe. The real-life Norwichman, as how much money do we actually have? We have... Oh. We don't even have 1 million. Okay, maybe we should have gone cheaper on Rafael Leao, but do I care overall? No. He's the player that should hopefully carry us through our difficult Champions League group with Liverpool in there, Shakhtar, and also Copenhagen. Scary group, if you do ask me personally, but our squad is better. And yes, our squad's brilliant, but I'm not putting expectations on the Champions League, even with a Rafael Leao who is 92 rated. And is he ready as a centre-forward? No, he's been out of position, but the squad hub, whatever, hasn't actually kicked him out, which I was a bit pessimistic about, but I am glad FIFA's let him stay, as Mancini, 30 goals, actually outscoring him. Still not higher rated than him, as my days. Right, it's happened again. In Italy this time. Into rock bottom. Now, they must have not signed a keeper, but they survived last year. This doesn't make sense. Anyway, enough of the rivals. They're going to be in Serie B next season as we beat the other rivals to win the Scudetto. First in the league, above Milan. Look, 2 Milans in a row. And we've got the one with RB next to it. Winning the league. As we didn't win the Super Cup, that went to Juventus. But the Coppa Italia, no. That goes to Milan. But there's still a big competition to check. The Champions League. Did we get out that group? As I wasn't feeling confident. But after seeing the league and that group right there, I'm feeling a bit optimistic. As we went to the round of 16 and lost to Club Brugge on penalties. Well, that's not a good ending. Can't lie, I wasn't braced for that, but one thing I was braced for, look at all our youngsters. They have all left the club. If we're in the Champions League, I'm only having players that I might play, and yes, I kept 2, just so we have some reserves. As another positive to all the releasing, we do have a big budget, 130 million, as I actually didn't release them. They all left at the end of the contracts, as we've got only 20 players, and we've got that big money to sign 3 big ones. As where do we go first? Do we actually go first team, or do we just build a strong bench, get a few 80 rated? Martinelli can be replaced, and Romano can be replaced with either a left mid or a right mid, and then we've got money left over. So the first player I'm going to go for, yes, he's still on my shortlist. I wanted this man last year, Johnny Rowe of Leipzig. The reason I've actually been so desperate for him is because he's one of the only left mid, right mid options out of all the clubs. So welcome Johnny to the club for almost 40 million. Yes, a big overpayment, but a position which was necessary. As yes, he'll only be on the bench, and now we've got to search for a harder position, a centre forward somewhere. Where can we find those? Well, I'll tell you maybe where. In the Serie C. I cannot believe they're down here, especially with Lautaro. But it's not him that I want. I'm going to take Sergio Camelo because he's only going to be a backup if I could make him a centre forward. As here he is, arriving at the capital. Wait, he was already in the capital, but that time, the capital below. As before we spend our final 35 million, probably on another bench player, I do want to actually see the team that AC got relegated with. Or it's Inter AC, you're next though. And yeah, very good ratings. 2 89s in fact. But when I skip to goalkeepers, not one at the club. Why has the CPU or NPC, whatever it is, not signed a goalkeeper? They've literally screwed Milan over, and we're going to screw them even more by going and get another player from them. That's right, a Gume. I think he'd be a decent centre-back, and for only very cheap, gives us money for more coaches. As here he is, and it shouldn't take long for him to be a centre-back, which helps us. Let's go and change it. Yeah, he should be fine to change us. Whoa! Maybe not. 380 weeks? Are you sure with them stats? And they will all get better even if they're not playing with the coaches that we brought in, who do like kick and rush. But does it want the Champions League? Well, with a group like that, I'd hope so. we should definitely go through. As that may have sounded cocky, but yep, we should be through, and we should be firing. Look at the attack. As I count Kamaria's attack, Leao, Ferreira, Mancini, Carboni. I wish he would have done better. And same with Barella, who's our captain, but he's gone down to an 82 rating. He is getting old. As did he have an impact at least? Well, he isn't even on the first list. Our top scorer again, Diego Mancini. How has he not hit a 90? How has he not hit a 90? As yes, we won the league again. I thought we would do that. We're better than Juventus. We're better than Milan. And we're better than Inter Milan, who we've got to check on. But first, put that trophy straight into our cabinet as wow! They didn't even win their league. Only 2 defeats, but Parma come top, and yes, we'll face them next year if we haven't won the Champions League. As I wonder if they signed a keeper. Oh, and the Super Cup, it goes to Milan. I hate it when they win a trophy. And I do like the club in real life, don't get me wrong, as they won the Coppa Italia, so they've actually done the double. 2 trophies in a second place is not bad at all, so the only way we trump them is win the Champions League, as we topped our group. To go and get Rene, who we beat 3-2, but I'm looking at the result below us. Nordsjælland beat Madrid, as then we made the quarterfinals where we beat Borussia Dortmund, and Calcio, Atlanta, beaten by Nordsjælland. Did we go and draw them? No. Arsenal hammered them, but we beat Paris to make it a final against Arsenal. I would have loved to play Nordsjælland, and we have made that final. Come on, let's celebrate the final. After a lot of hard seasons, this squad have made it from the bottom tier to Red Bull's first finale. If we play our normal game, we should be completely fine, as look at this black kit. This is very nice. Like I say, link below if you do want to use these mods for yourself, as Bruno, travelling forward, drills it into Mancini, who should be higher rated. And I'm nervous against Arsenal here. Carboni cutting in. Our Argentine goes for it. Definition of a huge chance. As Barella, the captain, I have decided to play him instead of a Gaume on the bench, because he's been here longer. And Mika Biereth is actually their striker from their academy, as Carboni tried to pass it through. Everybody running into each other on both sides, as Ødegaard, he did have a pass forward there, and he's give it into Saka instead. I wish we had Pavlovic, the Serbian we tried to sign, to actually mark Saka in this game, as this is a chance. Makini to run away with it. Keep going. You've got the pace. Todibo is rounded. Is there anybody in the middle? Leao to strike. As it wasn't a very good catch, but that was a big chance, really. Alson Boletho, who has been here from the start, now on to Ødegaard. Arsenal, I hate to say it, but the better team, trying to work out an opportunity, but we have stole the ball back, and Kamari, of course, Leao and him have to work well on the left as Leao running through the middle. Look at the pace from Rafael Leao. He's got a man at the back stick. What a save and what a block. How have they kept that out? I think it was Mancini with the chance as a ball in at the front post. Bruno with a bad header. Most of the chances in the first half, but Arsenal most possession. But they've been so boring with it. At least we're getting shots off. As it's time to be better now, stand up and be countered as we try to rub the ball off them. I guess we are kick and rush, so we are good when we kick it forward and try and counter-attack them. It's good play, a good save. De Gregorio, what a block. As they should have stopped it there, but now it's a chance to counter on it. Come on, Ferreira, we haven't seen much of you. Maybe that's why his rating's stuck, if he's doing stupid things like that. Let's get a tackle in, a good one. Mancini, now we break. We need the pass down this side. Akin Samiro, he's been in the team all the time as Ferreira, poor in the game. And now Arsenal counter. If we could stop Knott and Cuffy, we do well, you know. Carboni to the side of him and Mancini. Now we attack again. This is a better chance for Ferreira. Through the middle again. He could probably shoot, but I don't trust his shooting. How are we not scoring? That's Leao who we get the ball to. Still from the corner. Leao across the field. Pellegrino, who's our centre-back. He's kept the ball, the Argentine. Crossing. Handball! Yes, it's been given. A penalty kick for RB Milan. Can we win the game from this, please? who takes it? It is going to be Mancini, the youth player. Hold your breath and fire top bins as it's not top corner, but it's into the back of the net and 1-0 RB Milan in this UCL final. He celebrates at the camera as there's still time to be seen out and Arsenal will attack. Willian Jr., what a player at the finals, of course, the Euros, as that's a good ball in behind to him. We still need to watch our man, and we're forcing Saka out wide a bit. But he's got to cross into the box, and it's saved by the goalkeeper. An immediate block. But what's happening here? Don't tell me he's given a penalty. Oh, my days. Right, we've got to try and save this. Please not now. After all our hard work, it is going to be Saka, and he squeezed it in. There is no saving that, as that should be it for the game. I don't think we've got a chance to respond, but Carboni, you never know. Here he goes. Carboni, our Argentine, cutting inside and shooting at Lunin. That was a chance. And oh my days, Lunin got the clearance in. What a chance we've had as now Pellegrino to come forward out of the defence. We need to push on. Of course, we're into extra time now, and we should have a team fit enough. Maybe we need to get Barella off, as that's a cross towards Leao. Very powerful header. Looking for the top corner, as can we stop penalties? I know it's entertaining, but still, it's nerve-wracking for myself, as Saliba's got around Leao, and we will go to spot kicks. 2 penalties scored in game, and now 5 each, as the first one by Edwards. Straight into the side netting. As it's Akin San Marino for us. He's been solid and the keeper dived the right way. Lunin's been very good today as now Fabio Vieira. Oh, that is audacious. Chipping it down the middle as now Schmidt. He was a sub and he scores his penalty firmly to give John Jules the next one as I'm going to go to the left. And they're just going down the middle. How am I not reading these as Kamari is up next? Oh my days, that's very lucky. My heart literally stopped. Willian Jr., bait him out. Bait him out. You've got to save that. You have got to save that as Ferreira. Go the same way as everybody is going. Very solid from the American. Some very good penalties from us. They're very close as Alexander-Arnold scored in the Euros. But a very big save right there, leading to the final one for Mancini, who scored in-game. Again, hold your breath and go into that top corner where he went in-game. He just goes again as he's cupping his ears to the faithful at the stadium. It is a win for Milan and a win for Red Bull. As get that trophy lifted right now and get it wrapped in cotton wool. We need to take it back with us, as I believe that's Akin San Marino. Or not San Marino, but San Miro. I got confused there as the open top bus. We've got them 2 trophies. As if you want to see another RB club in a different country, comment down below or click here to check out other vids. So Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid just dominate the capital of Spain in La Liga. Alongside Barca, the 3 just keep winning season after season, and there's really no competition. We saw it this season. Girona fought bravely, but were absolutely beaten up by Madrid at the end of the season. But that is where I come in, as today I am making my own club as a Red Bull ambassador in Madrid. That's right, RB Madrid are starting from the bottom and joining the fight against the other Madrids. As we've got to take this team from the 2nd division all the way to the top of European football. As yes, people, here we are. We've got another Madrid build. You can see the beautiful kit. It's got no red on it, which is, granted, unusual, but we're mimicking the Madrid, Real Madrid that of course is, as there's some rules around this build. If you haven't seen a Red Bull build, there's plenty more on this channel, also linked somewhere here, but you can see we've got a contract linked to this job, as we can only sign players from other Red Bull clubs or other Madrid clubs. Imagine if Mbappe has literally just joined Real, but then we snap him up in the 2nd division. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? But it isn't going to be that easy, because we don't have unlimited money. We only have a little bit, and we can only make 3 signings per season, as it might take a lot of seasons, in fact, to complete our final objective of winning the Champions League. As this is the team we start with, and I have actually randomized this through Creator Club, so we've got plenty of different nationalities, but not plenty of good players. They're really quite crappy, so it's going to be a difficult rebuild, especially in the first seasons. And yes, I say seasons because I don't think this will be a quick build. We've got to try and find a good team and try and find our key players. As what is our budget? It's only 1 million, right? We've got to work with what we've got and see if there's anything worth working with. As our youngest player here is the goalkeeper Fernandez, but he's no good, really. The best players are Isaac, this CDM, who I may change to a centre-back. We got Rojas. Them two could be partnershiped. As 53 weeks, though, to change Isaac to a centre-back. Could he change to a centre-mid? No, that takes even longer. As actually, I didn't see, but we've got this man as well called Boy. He's the captain of the club, but he is 27. So not everybody's a youth player, but we've got this brilliant team, and I'm liking how this looks. Torres in the cam position. We'll have to shift him over, but again, he's 27. They are all regens, but they are not all youngsters. Making me think our first buy, and I've already gone and done it, is Nacho Sanchez, a one-star scout. But if we could find any decent little youngsters, of course we're going to look in Spain. They could count as non-signings, so we're not limited to 3. And Thiago Borges, I'm guessing he was already in the academy. And also Benjamin Johnson, English winger already in our academy. I usually get rid of these players, but I'm looking at that man. And I'm thinking David Beckham, of course. Remember him at Madrid? Benjamin Johnson getting promoted straight into that first team. Alongside Borges, of course. And also Kovalenko. This guy is going to go onto the bench, and we are going to fix this lineup up. As this is what we actually look like, and it's not as bad as we started with. I know our first signing, though, has to be a midfielder. But as I look through players at Atleti and Real, they are all pretty decent, so we've got to pull something out of the bag, of course, as here we go. Rayo Vallecano. They are a team based in Madrid, if you did not know. And I'm looking at Pablo Munoz, maybe a loan to buy option. I mean, it would be very difficult. Very difficult signings to make. Everyone in La Liga, very, very expensive, and with 700k only, we don't really have any chance, do we? So instead we go into Make Believe team. It is RB Bragantino, who don't have real players, but they do have players in the game. It's a weird thing going on. And Wilson Rosito, he's valued at 750, so he's our only really affordable player. As here he is at the club. We've gone immediately and signed him, as we'll shuffle this around, and that's our new team. Not a fan of the fullbacks, but we're going to have to go with them. They're in fact wingbacks, both of them. That could be a bit of an issue. But another thing that's an issue is how close the season is. So I think that's our only signing. And can he make a difference? And before I show you how probably amazing we've done, we've got a challenge on this channel. You guys can help us with it, as we are on the race to 50,000 subscribers. Yes, 50,000 before the end of the year. It is a big milestone to hit, and it's very far off at the moment. But if you guys could help us, I would love you forever, as we're not bottom of the league. Actually, I'm only joking. I covered it up. Of course we're bottom of the league. We are a terrible side. 26 points only. As any cup success? No, we were beaten by Racing. And of course not in the playoffs, where we do want to be. But not for now, as what's our team look like? Okay, Boy's done decent. He's the only player that's not bloody unhappy in the entire squad. Johnson 68, so he's got a little bit of an increase. Rosito not doing well. Borges, the goalkeeper. Wanted more from him, but he's still only 17, and we did get some top scorers as we continue to build. Rosito with a few goals that season. As season number 2, it says 3 million euros, which is more than last time, but that 1 billion in the middle? Don't know what that's on about. I assure you, if we had $1 billion to spend, this team would be all goners. As who's the next one gone out of the team? I'm thinking wingbacks. Aguirre and Gaddardo. I did train them as fullbacks. I believe they might be finished. There's also Morales. Can't be having a 31-year-old midfielder on the wing. So we definitely need to change that. But let's change our initial players. Starting with Aguirre, who is 32 years old. No improvement or anything. Right, I think we get rid of him first. Ooh, but I didn't actually show you this. Benjamin Johnson, I have trained as a cam. I'm going to push him a little bit narrower to fit our formation, as we need to fit a tactic. And it's got to be tiki-taka. We are over in Spain, and we want to inflict pain, so that is what we're going to choose. And of course, no coaches for now. We don't bloody have the money. Need to save the little we have, as I'm also thinking saving it by not getting a scout, but just promoting this guy, Santi Bustamante. We're going to get him into the first team, and maybe even Jimenez, who could replace one of our fullbacks. As speaking of fullbacks, we've got one on our transfer list in Rafael Obrador. Now, this will be a gamble, because he's valued at 2.3 million, which is a lot of money, and the wage that he demands, it's impossible to sign from Madrid. As also Vallecano. I mean, look at the players they have. Even all of these are too good for us. Signings are going to be hard. So we've got to look harder. And I think I've found two in one, you know, from Red Bull New York, Dylan Nealis and Jaden Reed. As putting the pair together, they cost around 1.5 million. Yeah, if my math's correct, I think it might be just under bang on. For some quality into this team, because they both are fullbacks. The only problem is there's two of them, leaving us one slot open. And we need a right-hand-sided player. As 1 million in the bank, I'm thinking it's around 1.4. And who can we go and look at? And luckily enough for us, the big clubs are helping us out. We've got Javier Jimenez, a regen at Atletico, and also Kennedy Cabral. So we've got a choice of both of these two. They should both be affordable. And hey, they're in the new kit. As the choice I've gone ahead and made, I have gone for Cabral just because he's 2 years younger than the other one and a lot cheaper. 400k cheaper, in fact, as we haven't had a good pre-season. But making this change right there, can it help our fortunes turn? And it's got to have been better. I mean, we can't finish bottom again. If we have finished bottom again, I'm going to be angry, which I am still a little bit, because 19th in La Liga 2, it's not very good at all, especially with our ambitions, but more money received and a better finish season 2 as Real Madrid win the Copa. That's to be expected. Or the rivals, we should say, not just Real, as we made the second round, because in round 1, we actually beat Real Oviedo, which are a quality side, as we've got a bit of quality in our side. You can see there's a theme going on here. The players that we are signing are becoming the best. In Thiago Borges and Johnson, 2 youth academy players. Cabral, Nealis, Reed getting left a little bit down, and also Wilson Rosito could be better in this team. However, he did score 10 goals. And season number 3 with a Red Bull sponsor. It has got to be more money. 7 million this year. As come on, we've got to cook. We've got to only sign from certain clubs. But even with that amount of money, we should be doing a lot better. As I was struggling for breath, and I am struggling to make a decision, because Herrera in the team, he was our top scorer. And also down here on the bench, we've got Kovalenko, the Ukrainian, who's 19 years old and only 62 rated. So some potential in there. As centre-backs, I'm looking at Arturas Rojas, 27, and Boy, 29, who, yes, is the club captain. As I'm also looking at Isaac, we could replace Otero, Nunes. I'm looking at midfield and centre, or centre-back and centre-mid. That's an easier way of wording it. As I'm also looking at scouts, if we do have enough money left, because it's signings we're prioritising, and also, if we can, signings from inside La Liga, in specific, inside Madrid, because I want to improve Spanish football, as well as just going with Red Bull, as Jorge Moreno looks like he's got a potential in there. As here he is meeting his teammates, and also the assistant manager, Jorge. Yes, 23 worries me a little bit, but still, should last over 75. Rated, that is, as welcome to Madrid. I also love these badges as well. The link is in the description to the mods we're using, but also a link to today's sponsor. And the sponsor all the time, Soccer Deal Shop, with their kits. Cheap quality replicas. As I've got a Manchester United one on, I do have a Madrid one, but I didn't want to wear it with the rivalry. As if you do want a discount, MWS10 is the code. It not only gets your money off, but helps support the channel. As to support this team, it is definitely a midfielder next. Torres has moved to the captain. The captain's curse is amongst us, because whoever gets the armband is out of the squad, as hopefully into the squad if we can pay a good wage to Marvin, a Real Madrid player, and we can move Johnson into the central cam. We can shuffle the team all around. But is it actually worth him fully? I don't know, actually. You might be seeing a live change of heart, but also formation. If we could change the shape to this. The very weirdly shaped 4-5-1 attack. Isaac sitting deeper, and then, of course, we get the right midfielder. But not only in position, but in the broad scheme of things, Marvin is the right man to be the right man. Yes, he has demanded a wage, and it's left us with almost 2 million. I think it's 1.5, really. Definitely don't think it's closer to 2. And I want to put all that into another regen player, but it is Murad Hassan, as he goes straight into our midfield with a big job ahead of him. Yeah, thrown him into the deep end, much like this club's been thrown in the deep end. 7 million only in our 3rd season is whack. Especially for an RB club as our team. Oh, growth on the left-hand side, not very good. In the goal and on the wings, though, Marvin, 76, or on one wing. I wanted more from Krabal, but Johnson, 75, and Borges, 75. Some decent ratings, if you ask me. A lot of transfer requests in I don't like, and 11 goals from Johnson, who should have kept us top of the league, or near top of the league, but no. 17th position. Are you having a laugh? We're not even mid-table. We cannot even get mid-table status. We lost in the first round again of the Copa de España. Hopefully that doesn't affect our budget, as I'm getting sick and tired of us. We are not doing well heading into season 4. And striker is what we're getting. I'm sorry if you want to see a different position sign for once. Nope. We're going striker again. Seems like every save I'm bloody signing just a striker, and I have signed some contracts up, but it's only gave us 6 million, which kinda has me thinking, alongside signing the contracts up, do we actually go get some coaches? I may save that for after the player, as these are the options for up front. We've got 4 players on our transfer list, 2 from the Madrid clubs and 2 from the Red Bull clubs. Ratkov we've had before in the Milan RB save. If you haven't seen that, check it out, but I am going to take him off our list, leaving Elias Manuel, who's a brilliant striker. Garcia, a regen I don't want to go for, so I'm going to take him off also. So Julian John versus Manuel, and I'm thinking Julian John. He should cost around 4.8, and he is 22 years old. As this man has been up close and personal with Vinicius Jr. If we can't sign a Real Madrid striker and actually getting him scoring in the 2nd division, that is a travesty. As only 4.8, he did take a high wage. An incredibly high wage, in fact. But let's hope he can prove himself, as we might need a little bit more money to actually get some coaches, as I'm looking at these 2. Either Herrera or Kovalenko has to go, but he submitted a loan request. I wouldn't mind loaning this man out, maybe having this man as backup. Bustamante on our bench, and Herrera sold for a bit of money. He's 30 years old, and he's been absolutely crap for us. So out the door he goes. I don't know where he's actually going if I skip this animation. Racing Club in our league. And he has a chance at starting, because the other 2 players he's in the team with, similar rated to him. But is that a step up for him? Because with our 2 million, yes, we haven't got the best of squads, and we're not signing any more players, but we are putting it all into coaching. Sticking with tiki-taka, but getting a few coaches into the team, as hopefully with these, we can climb the table. Good coaches should equal good ratings. And I mean, I've just clicked on the squad hub and I've seen an 80 rated. Thiago Borges, who is the highest out of everyone, to be fair. And Marvin is the second. Johnson the third. Our David Beckham playmaker, not actually top scorer, only getting a +3, overshadowed now by Marvin, but not Julian John, who has been our striker this season, and the squad overall, apart from Boy, looks very decent. He's the only OG in the squad. Tells you how bad our team was to start off with, as look at the league. Top of the tree. Not convincing by any means. We took 11 defeats this season, but 77 points. That's a trophy to our cabinet. And hopefully won't be the last one, as we don't win the Copa de España. I wasn't talking about winning that this season, as we got past round 1. Alaves got beaten, but Oviedo, who we beat before, didn't in this competition. Still a very good season for RB Madrid. Getting 77 points and even skipping out on mid-table, but there's some differences to make to the squad, as even Kennedy Cabral stopped scoring. As only 6 goals. 6 goals from an ex-Real Madridster, as that is a big worry as well. Rosito has left the club. Well, the worry isn't that he's left the club, and the worry isn't that he's gone to Oviedo. The worry is it didn't turn out well, meaning we probably need a cam this year. Alongside needing that centre-back, who's the captain, always the worst player, the captain, and we do not get much money from him now. Now, we need to sign 2 positions. If you're following, I know I'm actually speaking very quickly at the moment, as 24 million to sign 3 players with. Not actually the worst, you may think in your head as well, but looking at our bench, Kovalenko, 65 overall, is our best player, and that is absolutely shocking. So what we've got to do with this team is a miracle to keep it up. Not to mention, of course, Cabral didn't do well last season. As I'm looking at Rayo Vallecano first, there is nobody I want to sign, because a few of them are too expensive, like Munim, 9 million on 1 player. Also, Collins is quite decent. And also Calvin Bassey. That worries me because, of course, they will be a relegation rival, and I'm going to Atletico instead for Santiago Mourinho. Not only do I love the name, but we should be able to get him cheap. You can see 7.6 million. He's in his final year of contract. And this man can also fill in as a right back if needed, because our right back's pretty weak as well. We're in fact weak in many positions. But at least that's one filled up for now, and he's not very good on his left foot. Should have checked that before signing him, but we haven't really got the time as well. So knowing our money is decent, and I know we can sign 3 players, but I might just pile it into 1, which is Zidane Sedemir for £15 million. Yes, again, in the final year of contract. And he's from Red Bull Salzburg, only 22 years old. And am I happy with the signing? Yes, very, but I know he's not going to carry us. He might not be enough. But if we train him as a cam, it does take his rating up. I do see him as an endgame player, but do we have to go down to go up again? As with £4 million and a big sim to the end of the season, I'm not feeling confident, but has the team done us justice here? Well, I do think so, actually. Our cams both 80 rated, Marvin 82, and also Borges 82. Good mostly all round, but that defensive midfielder Hassan, only 77 dribbling, is only stat in the green. And he's a defensive midfielder, as we've got some good potential, lads. Does goal scoring give anything away? 23 for Marvin, jeez. As his name's not Marvin G's, just Marvin and G's, and another bigger G's, because we're not in the bottom 13, but 12th in the league, which, wow, with a minus 21 goal difference is incredible. 20 games lost, but we didn't hardly draw. That's right, it actually seems like we mostly won 2-1, with a win over Barcelona in that month, and also Real Madrid away, beating our rivals, but they beat everyone to the Copa de España, as I don't know how we did, and I only care about La Liga. 12th with this team is absolutely extraordinary, but you know what that means. With a few more signings, we should be higher. And with 42 million, I am hoping we can make some good ones, and it's come at a good time because of fringe players. People like DePaul or people like Danny Carvajal, they should be getting older and affordable, as I'm gonna look at Atleti. Any decent players at them? Oh my days. Harry Kane's an option I'm not going to go for because I think I want a right back. Joe Scally's definitely an option. The American would replace an American, but I might actually steal a youth player. Brahim Ali. Just how can I not sign this man up? I mean, he's only cost 12 million. And I know he's another regen. Joins up with this team and also joins up with Hassan because they're both from Mali. But I do want to sell Hassan. And I'm going to look at my good friends, the Salzburg lads, and going for Lucas Gerner. Can we even afford him though? No. Too much. Right, we're going to have to look elsewhere again. As maybe, in fact, from Salzburg, we go for another Malian. We're building a Mali team as Mamadou Sangare. He can mentor Ali and also mentor Hassan in the same position as him, as I'm hoping Basuma moves to one of the Madrids, or even the Red Bulls, as I'd love to have him in the midfield. But still, we've got a bit of money left, but we could have even more. As an offering for Jorge Moreno from Girona, I actually rejected a team from Germany. I know, I should have sold him to there. So he's not playing for a rival, but I'm going to sell the man who was a youngster when he first came, but he's knocking on a little bit. So I went and got rid of him completely to give us a bit more money. 38 million, and of course we need a new defender. And with this money, we are going to go bold. Axel Disasi is at Leipzig, a club I don't think we've been before. And yes, I know he's old, but he's absolute gold. He's an 84 rating, hopefully taking us a step up. As has he managed to rub off on his Red Bull teammates? Well, he has, in fact. A lot on Ali, at the side of him 82, and then the other side 80. Mourinho, or I'll just call him Jose, that's who I'm comparing him to. The weakest players now Reed, and Sangare, a lot stronger. Liking the team, as our best player is Marvin as well, reaching Real Madrid status, 29-year-old, 81 rated. And of course our top scorer, but the other kid from Real Madrid, I know he's only 25, but Julian John, the striker, less contributions than Benjamin Johnson, our David Beckham, but do we need to sign our Ronaldo up front next season? As yes, I am too, not liking just signing strikers, but I'm going to have to do it again, as we do survive in the league again above Sociedad. Osasuna, it's an 8th place finish, so it's no European football. I don't think so anyway. But 8th again, ain't bad, as no Madrid team winning the Copa de España, a Catalonian final, if I'm not wrong, Espanyol and Barca. But we are getting a little bit closer, as it was the quarterfinals this time, and Almeria, come on. They were crap in real life. And I am correct. It is no European football, but this season I'm thinking, do we just skip out the Conference League, the Europa League, the mishmash ones, going straight to the big time? Cause come on, the gap between 8th and 4th shouldn't be too much, as look where we are in the league. It's actually just put us default top. As according to my calculations, the letter R doesn't come before A, as this team, A, get it? It has to definitely improve, with left back being our first option or second behind central, because Sangare has been good, but I think again we go midfield. Not to forget though the John dilemma, because he is only 82 rated. Maybe if we could sell him, swap, we'd do good. Meaning swapping a player out, getting a little bit more money in, because 57 million, it's good, but it's not the best. So what I am going to start by doing is transfer listing the players that I don't mind getting rid of, Sangare and Reed especially. As one player that's actually lower rated than the players we want out is Yeray Salinas, the backup at Atletico Madrid. If this man can do an alley and just join as one of our fullbacks, improve all the way through the ranks, I think we've got a talented player. So not a long travel on the bus to, of course, RB's headquarters as he's welcomed into the club. And I know he's another regen, but he's another player that just, I think, can grow quickly. As another player as well, in the same bracket as him is Ilyas Ahmed. Now, I know it's another regen, but this man, I'm just thinking, he can play centre forward, basically cam striker as well, and maybe compete with John. So again, making that gamble. But before we actually get to him, we have sold Mamadou. He's gone for 20 million to play for the Premier League B's, Brentford. But, a tongue twister there, we have got our striker in. And of course, he's only going to be backup. As I'm also taking the risk, or do I train him as cam? No, I'm going to keep him as a centre forward and check how much money we've got. As it's 44 million. Again, like we did with Disasi, we've got to go big on one player. And this time I'm going to stay in Spain for the midfielder. And I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but Lennon Miller, who's somehow at Atleti. As for all that cash, here he is. I don't believe it. In our midfield. And that is a Champions League team. What a buy to get. I mean, yes, it cost all our money as I've gone to the squad hub first, because we've only got 21 players. And yes, that is quite risky as our highest at the club, though, Marvin 91 and Zidane 90. Yes, it's not the proper Zidane, but how funny is it that they've got similar names? He scored 26 goals, but he's providing like Zidane. Prime Zizou even, as this is what our team looks like. Defense and attack, apart from camps, could be strengthened. Decent bench as well. Da Costa, Boyle, Kovalenko. Well, of course they could be strengthened. But will we get the money to, as we're not in the bottom half? We are, in fact, finishing top of La Liga. And I am stunned. Silenced. Well, I would be silenced if I didn't have to speak to a bloody camera in this video. 10 points clear of Barcelona gives us a trophy to place in our cabinet, as I think that's our second one. We're not getting the Copa de España. And I said we were getting closer, but the round of 32. We were actually beaten by Getafe. I'm excited for next season. Not because of Champions League, not because of the players we've got, but the prospect of the budget. Of course, we are a Red Bull club. So what I am actually going to do, put the 7 million in, I think from a release clause paid, to our coaches for next year. As this is how our coaches look into the 8th season, I believe. And yes, they all don't look the best star-wise. But apart from this guy, Iñaki Carrazzo, I've gone for everyone who knows tiki-taka to hopefully get the best out of the play. Because after all, we're a Spanish club and we've got a lot of players out, which gives me an idea who the players I've got to get in are. These that aren't playing, such as Cabral, I'll leave Salinas, maybe another centre-back, maybe another striker. As John has improved, I'll give him that, but as our budget improved, because that correlates to signings. And being that Red Bull club, yes, I knew we'd have some money. 123 million in our Champions League season. Could it be more? Because we've got brilliant bids in here. First one, Brahim Ali, 123 million. But my thought process here, we've got Jaden Reed and we're getting beautiful bids in for him. Don't know why they've bid that much, but this man, Salinas, now a bid in from Salzburg. Yes, another Red Bull club. And I'm letting him go there. That's right. I'm going to return the favour. We've bought a lot from them. They're giving us a lot of money back. And of course, we have Reed, who can step in as left back, so we don't need another left back. It's just a lot more money. So scrap 123 million. It's 203 million. 200 million in our Champions League campaign. And we've got to go big with it. I knew I was selling a player this season because I knew we'd have a decent budget, but I knew I needed more for this man. Vinicius Jr. Well, he hasn't actually joined. We've had our bid rejected. Oh, that's sad. I really wanted Vinicius Jr. He is 30-year-old. Maybe we could go for Rodrigo instead? And yes, we've got him in. He is there in the t-shirt. Rodrigo RB Madrid. What a traitor. 150 million, but he fits in when we change it to wing, and our attack, or midfield, not even our attack, is extraordinary. Marvin of Madrid, Rodrigo of Madrid, even a Salzburg player in there. As the next player I want is an ex-Real Betis player, not Madrid, it's Juan Miranda, who's at Leipzig. As yes, I said I didn't really need a left back in the squad, but I've gambled with all our money. We've literally spent up now to fill in that role because it was our weakest after all, and our bench still stronger. And I believe we just need a centre-back, but they won't be joining this season, no, because we've got no money and we've got our Champions League group alongside Paris. As first of all, before we can even speak about any signings, we've got to wrap this season up. Oh, almost another trophy, but beaten by another Madrid. Still, 3 of the 4 teams are actually Madrid sides. If we were to team together, that would be an amazing stat for all, as we do win the Supercopa, another trophy for the Madridistas, and the Copa de España. We won on penalties, so domestic double, but one more competition to go. And yes, I did say that weirdly. I know I speak weird, and that's weird. Paris out in Group C of the Champions League. Rangers go through. As of course we went through ourselves. We beat Torino, and Rangers beat Arsenal, Braga almost, Monaco smashed Barca. Then we win 4-3 against Sporting. And actually, looking at all those teams, I am amazed that they're quarter-finalists, as then 2 Red Bull clubs in the semi-finals, which we do win. Unfortunately, Salzburg lose. Or fortunately, in fact, is it a rule that they can't play each other? It's Sporting anyway to play in the Champions League finale. Ronaldo's ex-club, who might not be supporting Madrid this time, as this is the team we have to face them. Plenty 90 rated. Our keeper being one of them, and then of course all our midfielders. Who was our top scorer though? The signing of Rodrigo. Just needs to repeat it here, and hey, it's at Wembley if you caught that little glance. I do love a game at Wembley. I actually went there last season myself, and what a kit clash this is, man. Why haven't they put their green on? Anyway, we've got to try and play like this. I guess that's what we deserve for actually taking the red off Red Bull, as now Miller into the middle. A ball towards Johnson, who shrugs his man off and does get an early shot in. But I can't believe they've done this, man. Why are these kits so similar? Johnson still, the edge of the box. It is Marvin who goes to shoot. Still, the ball out to Lennon Miller, who's going to hit a rocket. Never in my life did I think I'd sign a Scottish player today, as Marvin needs to get this pass off. Lennon Miller, that's got to be handled. And on this free kick, well, we've got to put Rodrigo on it. He is by far our best player. Maybe not rating-wise, but goal-wise, as it's in the back of the net. A brilliant set piece from the man. 1-0 to Red Bull, and it is an ex-Real Madrid player. What a fine finish. The number 10 over the wall. I couldn't sneak it under. Had to go over, and goalkeeper, no chance, glides over the head of Abdul Fatawu, the new Leicester man, and into the top corner, as we need to look for more. As hopefully they can't look for any, because they can't bloody see which players are theirs. I don't like the conditions, but still, the first time it's ever happened, as that's a good ball by John. I don't think he meant it, and we've run around as man all my days. And the referees give a penalty. This could get messy. Sent just trying to block everything. Handled, pushed down. It's harsh, but it's happened. As it's Marvin on the spot kick. That's a big circle, you know, but down the middle to solve the riddle. And now it's 2-0 Madrid. What a half from us, man, as this is Zidane. I'm going to keep calling him Zidane instead of his full name, because I can't say it. Dribbling through all their team. I can't believe we've actually got Sporting to play. He's still going. Oh, my days. Rights with the block. And we can't get too cocky, but here he is. Again, cutting inside. Get out of his way, please. He's got the shot off into the net. 30 minutes in. 3-0 to Red Bull. They might have paid their way to it, but what a strike from the youngster. Or the man who once was a youngster. I cannot believe our luck. I'm sorry, Sporting, but we're smashing you. Although they could have got a goal back. Borges with the save, though, and that is the first half. Could it be 6-0 in this game, or could Sporting sport a comeback? Well, I am going to lean towards no, but then again, they've started this half off strongly, and they've got to have done some good to actually get to the Champions League final. A ball into Gyökeres. Trincao, we were blocked off. That is one back for Sporting. Right, we've got a game on, which hopefully we can call off again, but it's them keeping the ball. Abdel Fattawu, Nazinho. Good block by Dizassi, who's old. 34, that man, as look how close they're getting to our box now. We're tackling Trincao. He's giving it into Gyökeres. Careless with Gyökeres, as now 3-2 Sporting. Or to us, feels like Sporting. They're the team on top now. As we've really got to step up now. Come on, attack them, please. Julian John round the corner. Miranda, the left back running forward. Wasteful, as now they're actually getting closer into the box. Trincao, don't dive in, please. Estevez, the right wing back's been brilliant. He gets his shot off blocked. No handball. We're all over the place. We're sliding into tackles. Maria gets his shot off. And all we can do is literally put it out for a corner. St. Just into Fattawu. We're just sliding. We're everywhere in there. Let's get the ball bloody out. We've got 1 minute added on right here. Lennon Miller, please. Finally, saved by the bell. As we pick up our next trophy, the Champions League one. And I'm very hyped about this. It is going to be Mourinho, as the manager with the same name is used to picking up them trophies, but we've got to see the bus parade, because we didn't just get one. There's only 2 actually sat on the bus parade. We did win 3 overall, as if you do want to see another Red Bull club, comment which down below, or comment anything down below. I will be reading all the comments as usual. May get round to them late, as if you want to see anything else, click here. On this channel, we have conquered England, Italy, and Spain with the Red Bull brand. And today it is time to take on our final country, which of course is Paris, or France, that's the country, as the multimillionaires at the Red Bull company want to take over their final huge country. You might be thinking we haven't took them to Germany, but there's already RB Leipzig, so I'm not going there again. This is the final one. As you can see by my grey hairs, I have been here for ages, and my final challenge is to build up France. Yes, people, very excited. Here we go with another rebuild. It's me in charge, of course. I'm Red Bull's favourite person. Or so it may seem, as the team that we actually start with again, it isn't just youth players. Some of these are like 28 years old. So this challenge is going to be a very difficult one here in Paris, because the only signings we can make are from Red Bull or Paris clubs. And with there only being 2 Paris clubs, this is made even harder. So I want to focus on my second challenge, 1 youngster. That is per season. Of course, we can take more. We can't take less, as the final thing we've got to do is win the Champions League. As our budget as well, it is a League 2 bottom half, a 2 million budget, a terrible budget. Something we can't do much with, and our best player at the club is Andreas Michel. I don't think he's the next De Bruyne. Already 28-year-old, Gabin Adam looks a little better. Maxime Perrin, if he wasn't 25 years old. As out of our youngest players, the best one is this guy, Aaron Daniel, but he's still 54 rated. Not good at all, as are we really playing 5 at the back? I feel like with this save, I'm actually going to move away. I want to try this one out, going with the centre forward, because I've always had good wingers, or I believe I can get good wingers from the other Red Bull clubs. As no, we're not buying coaches, we are setting our style, and of course it's got to be wing play. As who can actually play wing? We've got Diarra, Lecroix, and then this man Durand, who looks pretty goddamn awful. As this is what we've made it into. I mean, it's, I'm gonna say not bad, it's awful. The midfield, The midfield can hold its own. For now at least anyway. But the scout we are going to buy, of course, it's a one-star scout. And I'm going to set it on wingers. Or attackers. As don't worry, this isn't our academy. The first player though, Tobias Meyer. He's a cam which we don't play, but he's already 64 rated. And from Liechtenstein, I've never had a player from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop him up into our team and try and train him as a right winger. I think he could be good on the wing, especially with his stats. But then again, the player we've just got, this is our scout report. Felix Lemonnier, definitely getting promoted. So we're promoting not one, not two players, because Berge I'm going to take with us to change our team into this. And I've got to say, I'm very impressed with our business, and that's only from the youth academy. Still players to buy around the defensive area of the field now with the 2 million euros, and we're going to do that immediately, as I know who I want first, and it's this man from Paris FC, Obed Nicamdio. I think he looks pretty decent. As for just under or over 500,000, I was going to say under 1 million, but he's not even touching the million mark. Have I said million a lot there? I think I have, but 680k? That is literally okay. But I don't think I'm done there. I'm going to go back to Paris FC, that is, for Johan Corre, the youngster. A very promising looking player for Paris, as I did make them kits quickly, so apologies if they look horrible. I still think they're alright, but yeah, they're not the greatest, and same with Corre's wage. It has took our money off us, so not much left at all, as we'll change this back to a solid right back. That's a very good team, only 2 under 60 rated. Very good for the beginning, and we'll see how we start, as everybody's on a training drill and ready for the season. And although people are on drills, don't expect us to do any better than these lads, Paris. As do you know where I got this kit from? The sponsors of the channel, Soccer Deal Shop, nicely sent me. You can get cheap and affordable replica football tops for almost quarters, thirds and halves of the real life prices, which are extortionate, absolutely ridiculous. And if you use the code you just saw, rewind the video if you do want to, you can get yourselves 10% off and help the channel by also subscribing. There's 2 ways to help us and also help this save, because at the moment, well, it's not really going too good. 20th in League 2, just where I expected us to be. We are a very young team, or not even young, just bad team. A lot of business to do, as we were in round of 32 for some reason, where we got beat 5-0 by Stade de Reims, Will Still's old club, and of course not in the playoffs, which has already been played and won by Strasbourg. Congratulations to them. That should be us one day, as the team's not as bad as I thought. We've got some 68 rateds, also some progression elsewhere. But one thing I did notice about Berge not playing, and same with Meyer, we've got to do this swap over. As first things first, Joseph Sanchez is a centre forward, probably better than Perrin in the position, so maybe we go with him next season. But then again, Tobias Meyer, our Liechtensteinian, is training there, as Cedric Berge looks better as a winger, as his rating also suggests. So only 17-year-old up +6. Our youth players could be the way forward, as one of them even the top scorer at the club. Maybe we ditch the centre forwards and keep playing Perrin. As what do we do with this season number 2? Well, we have to keep on going with youth, but how much money do we have? I am a money man. I always love to check it first off, as 4 million euros. That is more like it. But before we get into spending, and we know where we've got to spend, I do want to change his formation to one that does suit our players more. And it's this one, of course. We've got Meyer staying as a cam, not actually training as a centre forward, because we can play Perrin there. And I know he's not the youngest. He's 26-year-old, only 63 rated. It allows us to put money elsewhere, because last season ultimately we conceded a lot of goals. We've got a 57 rated left wing back, not the correct position, and only a 58 rated Pascal Robin, the centre back, who wants out of the club and we will let him go out. As first of all, our scout, who did very well somehow last year, centre-back searching, he's going to go because we do need some younger ones. And has he found any good ones? No, we've got Leonard, who we will just have to promote. Probably send him on loan. And yes, us loaning players out as yes, I'm going back to Paris FC for the last player right now, Noble Mendy. The only problem with this guy, I think he can grow magnificently, but it has to be his release clause paid, which I am going to go and do because I do think he's going to be worth it in the long haul. Yes, he's not the highest rated of players, but he should be pretty decent, as here he is into the club. Of course, we do need a centre-back, and we still have a lot of money for our level anyway, as I know Leipzig have, is it Bichabiu, the good centre-back, the French one? But I'm going elsewhere. Frederick Jacal. The only problem is his wages, so I'm getting rid of a few players. First is our backup goalkeeper, and then Pascal Robin, and I think another midfielder of some sort. It's not much money to spend, but it's enough for wages, as he has arrived on a big bit of money. 14k for one player, I think wipes out another signing, as we was making money, as you know. But yes, 330, that is not enough for a player signing, maybe for another scout report, but I'm not going to waste my time on it. I think the squad we've built is slightly better than last season. I'm not sure on Perrin though, but our youth of Jacal, I'll count him as a youth player, Maya, and then Lemois. He is a good winger. And there you go. I did call it. We're at the end of the season right now. It's only his passing that's going up, but the overall team is also going up. As look at the players we've got now. We've got Maya 74 rated as well, and Berge 72 on the left. Better stats overall, but we've got 3 players in the green ratings now. That's very good. Only, what, 2 seasons deep into this save? Next season might be the season for promotion, as Perrin keeps on scoring, but I think I do want to replace him next year. Although the midfield does need fixing. I'll show you that again in a minute, as we didn't finish bottom, 13th. Very good season. Still not above the other Paris, and that Paris is winning stuff. And we lost in round 1 of the Coupe Nationale to Laval. That rhymes, doesn't it? As yes, we're going to speak on players before the next season in Michel and Adam. Not good. Also Hassan, so hopefully a big budget, or maybe we sell a winger or Maya to get money. And I mean, it's better. It's 5 million euros, still a little bit onto the academy, and contracts are now catching up. Any first teamers here? I mean, none of the young lads. Oh, no, they're both in here. How did I not realize that? Stupid. Gotta watch for them leaving. But then again, at the same time, can we maybe craft another player? We're going to Jerome. As please, my good friend, tell me you found something. Lucien Perrin. I mean, he looks pretty decent, don't he? He had 5-star weak foot at only 15 years old as a keeper, so I might not sell this man right now, but Nakambado can go. We know we've got future money, but not money right now, so I'm not going to restrict myself, but I am going to go on a spending spree, looking for that defender we do need. Edundo Oliveira, is he the man to get us promotion? Don't even have a clue if this man is a real player. He's come from Bragantino, but they are a Red Bull club. So that's our centre-back sorted, and for less than 1 million. I mean, yeah, it's basically 1 million, but we're saying less than 1 million. And yes, he is quite old, and we're going to swap them over just for cautiousness. Now we go to the midfield, and if any money's left, the striker. But yeah, midfield is first, and we have Ayman Kari. He's at PSG, although I think he's going to be expensive. If we could maybe get him cheaper, say 2.8 million. If they ask for any more, I wasn't willing to pay it. But that doesn't matter now, does it? He's walking into the training ground. Yes, only $1 million to spend on our other midfielder, which is an issue. But this man at RB Paris, he's neglected by the big Paris. Only a youngster really considered there. Now, he's a first teamer. Obviously had to be, as it's 1.1 I've checked that's left, because we did pay a lot of wages out to that player and the player before. So if we can find cheaper, I'd love it. And Tajani, I've checked every club and he's the cheapest centre mid there is. He's even considered a CDM, so if we can sell a player, or maybe if our goalkeeper reaches the age of 16, which he does. Oh my days, look at that for timing. 68, we can promote him and now sell our current goalkeeper. So thank you for the memories, as we've actually got a decent fee for him, and this should lead to another signing coming into the club. And yes, I've gone ahead and made sure it is Tijani, as he'll train as a centre mid and hopefully improve the team. And I've just made a mistake. Not a bad mistake, though. I think you guys will agree with me once you see it's not bad. As speaking of not bad, just look at our team. Yes, Oliveira's going down. He is 34 years old. Oh my days, I didn't know he was that old. But when you look at this team on the outside, look, an 80 rated, a 79, 74 keeper, who's just joined this league. And we are running out of some contracts. As top scorer for us was Tobias Meyer, a player from Liechtenstein, actually doing the best, as you can see, only just, but scraping in those playoffs. 68 points is 4 more than Metz, but then we was in the top 2, I know, for a lot of the season. And here comes the bad news. I accidentally simmed the playoffs, but we beat Grenoble 4-3 on penalties, to then go and beat Auxerre 2-1, and gain promotion with a 1-0 against Strasbourg. 2-1 on aggregate, but we are going to be in Ligue 1 next season after only 3 seasons so far. Not bad news at all, as did we make it past the round of 32? Yes, we did. We beat Clermont 2-0, and then in the round of 16, we got Paris, not the Paris FC we've been playing already. 3-0 to Paris, but we are in that division, and I don't know how to react. It's this team you can see right here. And looking at it like that reminds me we do have position changes, Berger being the first, and the second one maybe not as expected, but I'm going with it. Meyer to an 80 and a centre forward. As I believe this season, the change has to happen. You know, Perrin, for a 28-year-old, has been amazing. But time to leave that position, as I've got Meyer training as a striker. His shooting has shot up. No pun intended there. Tajani won't be long. He's still training as a centre mid. Only 24 years old, so we've got him for the long haul. But one player we don't is Hassan, the centre back, because Oliveira just went and bloody retired. So we need a new player there, and 24 million. And you might be thinking, Max, go and buy another scout. Well, I would, but at the moment, Jerome Oliver's just amazing. For a one-star scout, he's found us some sensational hidden gems. As any more this season, we do need to promote a player. Not really. Theo Bernier's already 17. And judging by how our keeper was not even 16 and 68 rated, that's the level we need. As this is the level we're at, can we survive? I mean, our attack is bloody brilliant. It's just our bloody defense. Oh, and our midfield, because we don't actually have a cam right now, and Frankie Amaya from the American Red Bull. He will do for me, as I think he'll go up in rating as a cam as well. We'll have to get training him, as of course we're training Maya. And he looked pretty small, didn't he? He's 5'4". Are you joking? I mean, it's not entirely a bad thing, but oh my days, I am training him as a cam, but if he jumped into that box for any headers, he's screwed. Maybe we just actually knock him back for now, or actually change him to a CDM, swap them over, come on, change. That's a lot better. Now we only need a centre back, then probably some more bench players, maybe a fullback or two. But let's go centre-back first and foremost, as we've got Joachim Andersen. He's only 17 million and coming towards the end of his contract at Leipzig. Now, I know he's an old player, but he's not as old as Oliveira once was, as I thought we'd have money spare, but not really at all. Joachim Andersen's took it all up because his wages are astronomical, but he's in the French capital, and yep, you can see it was just a splurt of money we put to him. At least we could afford the wages, as he, when he's back from international duty, should sit quite nicely against Jackal right there, and our defense, well, it should still grow around him, of course. And Maya's trained as a striker. He stays at an 80, but I'm very happy that's the case, as yes, his dribbling and pace is good, but his shooting, 94 finishing, that has been severely underlooked, and now he should score plenty. And yes, I am talking in League One. The step up shouldn't be that difficult for players. I mean, it's not been for Felix. 85 overall, Maya 84, and then Berger also 84. Even Anderson's gone up one. He's even going to Unk status, as this is how our team looks. We've got Berger with 15, Lemon with 10 and 10, and Maya did get 10. I knew he would come decent, and our little man in the midfield, and Maya with 8. That's quite a few goals, and this is quite a good team. Our attack will never have to touch, and that's a shame because PSG players are always good attackers, not defenders, and that's an issue unless there's a 90 rated Marquinhos, who's obviously affordable. We might struggle for signings, but we don't struggle in the league. You can see we don't finish below 11th. We actually finish 8th. Not bad at all. I'm guessing our attackers carried us there then, and PSG, top of the league, only on 78 points, which isn't much at all. And oh my days, we beat Paris Saint-Germain to reach the semi-finals of the Coupe Nationale. As did we actually beat them in the league? I want to go and check immediately, as joining us next season could be Bordeaux. And of course, we know the story going on with them. Might get round to a rebuild, as we didn't beat them in the league. As that goes for both games. Yep, 4-2 in August. So unfortunately not there. Let's have a final look at the team, as I just admire our attackers, man. Also, Kari getting towards the 80s. The goalkeeper the same. The fullbacks have come along. It's Anderson I've got my eye on just because of the age, but also Tajani, who's 75 and not really improved much. So replacements already to be made for next season, because I want to be challenging. And 35 million. Is that Champions League worthy? In any other league, I'd say no. But in Paris, at this moment in time, I'm leaning towards yes, actually. As that will fill a CDM, a good CDM at that. And of course, if we're going to replace Tajani, we could sell him, really. Then again, I actually stopped myself because I'm thinking about the bench as well. That's a terrible bench, and we do need to flesh it out more. So let's look for the CDM first. I do want to get coaches as well. There's a lot actually to do and not much money to do it with. You can just see for perspective, we are not going to go in for Schlager because we actually can't afford him. And he's only 84 rated. So we might have to sell before we can buy, but from the Austrian league, of course, a little bit cheaper than usual. Mads Bidstrup, a good player. I believe he was at Brentford, running out of contract as well, so we should cost only 16 million. As what a bloody signing. Can't read the back of the name on these shirts, and I kind of did that purposefully. Makes it harder for other teams. Don't know who to mark, and yes, it was 16.5 million. So the rest of our budget, I think just under 20 overall. This will be on the bench, and also 1 million into our youth players. We do need to pay Jerome Oliver, and we do need to find some obscure signing. As there's only a small pool of players we can go ahead and sign from. Terrible report, Oliver. I mean, I will take Aubert. Not a very good player, but could still fit on the bench. That's how bad this bench is. Defenders needed, goalkeeper needed, almost bloody everything. As I'm staying at Salzburg for this one, the goalkeeper backup, I'm going to speed through these actually. As who doesn't like a huge spending frenzy? The first one is Jonas Krumrie. You already knew that going into this. As the second player's name is Sebastian Haas. He's from Paris FC. a young right back who isn't first team quality, as this man's not the same, of course. Rafael Cachoria from Bragantino, the club we love to visit. As the final player's a cam who I am going to make a winger. Check Umar Diakite or Diakite, whatever. None of these players costing too much, and this man won't train. I guess we are stuck with a cam at the squad, as it's not UCL quality, but a lot better on the bench and in the team. Bidstrup, once we signed him, went to 80 rated, and hopefully should go up more with the coaches we brought into the club. I was going to change the style of play, but no, going wing play. And this season's a very different one. You can see already we are, well, I was going to say joint top of the league because I was looking at draws, unfortunately not wins, and not goal difference, 15 goal difference. I mean, that's stinky, but still, Champions League football, 5 seasons in, as this year as well, we couldn't beat our semi-final finish. Paris win the Coupe Nationale. We were beaten in the first round, or the round of 32. The first round we actually entered to Angers 4-3. On penalties to a second division side is not the worst thing, as this team's not the worst thing. I mean, I'm only looking at the attack, really. 89 Limois, and then an 89 Maya, followed by an 88 Bergay, and an 87 Perrin. Yes, I'm talking goalkeeper, not the striker we have at the club. In fact, he's still here at 30. He's reached an 80. Did not expect that from him at all. And also our small man in midfield up 5 to an 81. Bidstrup up 2, and then our fullbacks up quite a few. As our stats going into the Champions League, it is all our youth players. And that front three we're growing, Bergay, Maya and Limon. It's looking a little bit similar to Mbappe, Messi, Neymar. We're taking on the Paris trios. Is ours better than PSG's original one, of course, as only 57 million? From getting into the Champions League, I expect a little bit more now, as Anderson's 83. So maybe we go midfield again. Can't actually select him. There we go. Amaya, 81. I do love his littleness running through the legs of players. And his 8 goals last season was fantastic. But I'm thinking if we go back to a cam formation, get another attacker involved, we could mean some serious business, as maybe Bidstrup's the man to go. I mean, he is the defensive midfielder. We'll train him up to swap, as Diakite is going to be a centre mid, at least under the bench option, because Dejani never trained there. As actually he has now, so we'll change him to a 79. And also change Amaya, we might as well, to a cam. As Bidstrup's going to train, of course, to be that centre mid. In only 28 weeks, he should be back in no time. I mean, I don't know where back from. He's never bloody leaving, as let's go spend this 57 million and maybe all on a cam. And I actually don't believe it. I wanted to sign from PSG to try and weaken their squad, but they don't have a cam at all. Shocking, really, isn't it? And then there is Mbappe. I don't know why he's still there, but Lee Kang-in would cost a bit of money. I am going to look at other options. He could be a cam, or even we could change our players around. As Felix Limois, he's a good winger, 21-year-old, but could be a cam. And Bergay can't at all, so yep, it's going to be down to Felix. And what I'm going to do here is sell Check Umar Diakite, or Diakate, however you say it, and this is in order to pay the wages of Lee Kang-in, because that's the player we're going for. Should just be affordable, and I am going to offer more because I think they'll ask for more. They think they've wasted their time here. That's a real shame. And of course, Leipzig's our second best bet. They don't play wingers. So Adriano Lopez. I mean, he is Brazilian born, so his rating should go up quick. Is he the next regen of Neymar? I don't know, but I'm going to gamble on it. Spending 55 million on an 80 rated 18-year-old. It's good that he's growing, but he's got to grow very quickly. As we are in the Champions League, and I'm going to put him on his favoured side. Bergay to make the swap. And of course, Lim Wine, who's going to flick himself to a 90 rated cam just in time to take on that group. As our main play this season must have been to hang our hats and hope on 3 players. You can see the 3 players I mean. Felix, 94 rated, Maya, 93, and Berege, 92. They have all been excellent. Some of the world's best youth. 30 goals for the cam, 20 goals for the striker, and 22 for the winger. Absolutely phenomenal. As we've got Bidstrup right here, he's gone up to an 86. He's been training as a centre mid, and he's put some effort in, as this team has as well. I mean, at the back we are very shaky. Lopez on the wing as well. Not gone up as quick as we would have liked. He's got a bit of explosive pace, and he's only 19 years old. Perrin, 90 rated. Very, very good, as have we conquered PSG. No, absolutely left behind for dead. 11 points off it. Maybe I shouldn't, you know, wear the kit at all, as we don't beat them in the trophies. Des Champions, we lose 1-0. And in the Coupe Nationale, guess who bloody went and won it? Yes, PSG. No quarter-final. We must have been out early days again. But not out early days in the Champions League. Look at that group. I feel sorry for Athens. 1 point and smashed out. Napoli as well. I don't know how they didn't get through, as we beat Bayern Munich, outscoring them 5-2. And then beating Barcelona 6-1. 4-0 in a game. That's our goal scorers. You saw how many goals they got. 70 altogether, and we're in the Champions League final. PSG nowhere to be seen, and we're going to play Liverpool. As PSG were beaten in the round of 16 by Man United, they've dominated France. We've never actually dominated our country. But in some weird world, thanks to our beautiful youth players, we find ourselves in a final and find ourselves 1 step away. Will we ever go back, of course, to rebuilding Red Bull clubs? Well, you never know in FC25. There could be a return of this series. Well, not really a series, is it? But just a bunch of saves, as if you do want a series. The second channel, that's where you'll find them as we're moving towards their goal. The camera seems a bit off, but we could get a chance right here. It's Cedric blasted at Van der Berg. Don't know what he was doing there, and yes, my settings reset, so it might be a different camera angle still. A ball through, and now it's Bidstrup to run at them. What can this man do? He's just tackled a little bit, but the gap opens up. Alisson saves. Chance for the XB. And I mean B by Brentford. He wasn't a honeybee in a past life, as Cedric with a ball. Near post, may fall to Kari. Anderson. Oh my days. How are we not scoring that? I mean, oh my days, 2 tackles, Lemoir. This is why we're outscoring teams. Tackles, their defense. It's Lemoir. Cam. What is Alisson doing? Literally gifted a goal early on. And Paris take the lead right here. Early domination, and it comes to fruition. Look at that. Alisson, man. You have got to be more careful. Terrible goalkeeping, as now we need to attack a bit more. Cedric down this side. We do have a runner at the back post. I'm going to cross it over to him. It has found Lopez, who almost scores again. This is a little bit easy. With the attackers we've got lined up, we should be in for more goals. Look at the free header! Anderson at the back stick! The ball at the back stick, that is. He was just as free as a bird in the centre of the box. And 2-0 to Red Bull. Going a little bit gloriously. Absolutely terrible from Liverpool so far. And his slots here is not going well. Where is Van der Berg going? Could be 3-0 already. This is too easy. Seriously, what difficulty? But oh my days, we have just ran straight round them. Alisson's in no man's land. That shouldn't be allowed to happen. But still it bloody has, as Cody Gakpo. Oh my days. Okay, it's not easy, but when they're shooting like that at goal, makes it easier. But now they've got to tackle him. Balagizi, we've instantly just tackled them. Liverpool are terrible. Well, it's either that or our bloody attack is too good for any team. I just wish our kit was good. Look at that. Easy tackle, but they've won the ball back. Balagizi, give it to Zubimendi. Get that tackle tackling Yakel. That is brilliant and terrible at the same time from them, of course. As we're running through a little bit, I mean, kept up the defender, and now we need to try and swing a ball in near post. Shot on goal. Still think there's a goal in this, though, as we've tackled their right back. He's tackled back, and now Smith Rowe blocked. Yakel over the top to the winger. Adriano Lopez, he's not as high as rated as the others, but there's a ball to the back stick. It's coming in. It's Cedric. 4-0 Paris, and I believe that's the game wrapped up. What a bloody win, and what a bloody performance. Straight through them all like a knife through butter and into the back of the net. That's how you like your goals to be scored. As with that, the Champions League is lifted in front of us, or will be lifted in front of us, and Anderson, man of the match. Had doubts bringing this man in, but he's been solid since his Leipzig days, and there we go. Get in! Our journey here is complete. From London to Milan to Madrid and then to Paris. Almost forgot right there. If you want to see them, click on the screen.